has the right to live by his own law. To live in the way that he wills to do. To work as he will, to play as he will, to rest as he will, to die when and how he will. To man has the right to reach that he will. To drink what he will, to dwell where he will, to move as he will on the face of the earth. Free man has the right to think what he will, to speak what he will, to write what he will, to draw a coin of time, men as he will, to dress as he will. For man has the right to love as he will. Take your fill and will of love as we will. The slave shall serve. Oh, it's the Lord. Lord, it's the Lord. Man has the right to live by his own law. To live in the way that he wills to do. To work as he will, to play as he will, to rest.
In Canada, okay.
No, and you're referring to like Iranian, the Persians, the Jews, the Christians.
I'm drunk.
I'm like, dude, I'm not being incoherent. You're just trying to discredit the point that I'm trying to make. And it doesn't disprove my. What's this, sir?
You weren't here. Brad was gone. If you were here, you would scream anti-Semitism. If this was like, let's say, the way he was trolling over Iranians, if he was trolling over
I don't think you guys actually understand the meaning of trolling, though. I really don't think you guys understand the meaning of trolling.
The closest Brad ever got to Iraq was 60 miles from the border.
Dude, I love how you know what I did. You want to say that?
I got my chest full of medals, bitch.
All right.
I'm that.
Excuse me.
You can go die too.
Yeah,
Go into the car. Talk more about how you want to rape women.
you said you went to Iraq.
why we can't have nice things. The
Yeah,
conversation
people like Brad
was
Steele stole a dollar.
between Green Living. It was between Green Living and Bry. You guys can go back and forth. Thank you.
No, I was wanting to talk to Brad the whole time. Don't help Brad out and fucking
Did somebody drop Brad from the stage?
I did. Thank you.
Why?
I'll get it later. Whatever. You're not going to disparage his service. You know he served. So
yeah, the fact that he said that he went to Iraq is bullshit.
If you want to have a conversation with him, that's great. If you don't, then you can shut the fuck up and someone else can speak. Ready? 3, 2, 1. Do you want to speak?
Go ahead, Green Living.
I got nothing to say except for you to insult his service is disgusting. That's all I said.
Brad used to tell me to put a gun in my face and kill myself.
I don't care what he said. He served. I'm done.
Okay.
Why would one veteran tell another veteran to kill themselves?
Didn't they both? Oh my gosh. Seth, they both.
I was on land. He was at sea.
Don't diminish his service, bro.
That's what I was angry about. That's what I was angry.
Thank you. And since you can't have a conversation with Green Living, why don't we move on to someone else? I appreciate
I want to know why y'all love so many people that talk shit about America.
You're not listening, so I'm sorry.
I am.
Do this again. You are not. Since I gave you an option to speak to Green Living, you opted out. Green Living was done, and then so now we're going to open up to people that have not spoken yet. So anyone else that has been on stage that has not spoke, the open mic for you. For Paul, the Achak, Meg, Kevin, go ahead.
Don't be shy. No one's gonna attack you. I think we got that out of our system.
How are you gonna guarantee no one's gonna attack them?
Because I'm the daddy. I'm the daddy, baby. Don't challenge me. Oh God, I'm gonna get myself in trouble. Leroy. Leroy's always a good one. Leroy, are you there? Come on, Mr. Matt. What's up, Did you for? Oh yeah. Yeah, Leroy, that's the guys, that's the spirit. Let's give Leroy a little, you want to comment on anything you heard, or do you want to switch up the subject?
No, I think Trump was very smart in buying time. I think that he was really going to make good on that threat. I think that would have been like total disastrous for him. So by now, I don't know what he's going to do now. I heard Netanyahu that they didn't know who was in charge. So based on that, I don't think they're talking to anybody, because if Netanyahu claimed they don't know who's in charge, how do you know? So tell me, is there someone else trying to negotiate on behalf of the war outside of, you understand? I mean, I don't understand why he can say that when there's nobody to talk to. Or am I missing something?
Yeah, a lot of their government's still alive. They're talking about the Speaker of the Parliament, the foreign minister is still alive. There have been different channels of communications with the United States, talking through Pakistan, Egypt, different countries mediating.
Why would they be interested doing what they're doing? It doesn't add up. But you seem like, why would they be interested to talk when you got to get rid of the regime? I don't get the purpose of having a conversation when you got to get rid of the regime.
That's not the primary goal, man.
Well, it may not be the primary goal, but I think it's the only thing on the table at this point. Don't you think?
Not at all. There's no one outside of the regime.
Yeah, after Trump's speech today, after Trump's when he was at the whole, I don't think they're interested in taking out the regime.
Well, okay. There's several premises that I think is important. I think the main premise is, how do you get to the uranium and get rid of that? And how do you take over the straits? I think putting someone in space, I don't think it solved the uranium problem. if they have it, they have it. And at some point, somebody else could get rid of this guy and take over. I just it just seems convoluted.
You institute programs that they're allowed to come. There's special programs, organizations by UN and other organizations that come. They check, they test radioactive levels in the area. There's planes that they fly over their country to see any radioactive areas or anything like that. Right now, they were supposed to be part of that, part of the agreement, but Iran, when they signed up for it, I forgot what it's called, they started dictating their rules. You can go there, but you can't go there. What the fuck is that supposed to mean? You can go there, but we can't go.
Yeah, but I thought they got rid of I thought they destroyed the actual, according to Trump, he said they annihilate their ability to develop it. So I don't understand.
Why they're holding on to the 60% uranium, that the enriched uranium that they do have.
They did not destroy it, literally. They thought it would be destroyed.
So, okay.
They thought it would be destroyed, but apparently it was more underground than they were expecting it. So it was stuck underground. It was stuck underground.
So they gotta find that. So they gotta go get that and seize that.
I think what Leroy's saying, Sarah, is that Trump said that he destroyed the ability to enrich it. So they probably did destroy the ability to enrich it, but they already have a stockpile of enriched uranium, and I think that's what Sarah's talking about.
Right.
Yeah,
So I'm just listen. I'm just trying to learn. This is very confusing. I think the first casualty, you've already heard that, the first casualty of war is exactly truth, facts, right? So yeah, that's where I am. I'm like, this is really interesting. I don't see why the Iranians would be interested in having a conversation. It doesn't make sense. To do what exactly? To go out to the sunset?
Yeah, exactly. They're gonna die.
They're gonna die anyway. So what do they care about survival?
Yeah, but Leroy, I want to tell you guys this. Remember, Rafi said UN was supposed to be able to go in every few months and check. They didn't let UN do it, right? But they did go in 2023. What do you guys think the highest level of uranium radiations they found? 83.7%. They did find as high as 83.7% uranium radiations. This is why this was a very serious matter. Yes, their stockpile was 60%.
No, I got all that, but I think here's my thing. I just think that it's these guys gotta die. I don't think conversation, talking. These guys are willing to go all out. You gotta kill them all. You can't. I'm not saying this is what I want now. I'm saying the way I'm saying the way they're positioning themselves. They don't give a fuck about what you think. They want to. You gotta kill them all.
Yeah, I
take
agree
them
with
out.
you. I don't think there's going to be a regime change. I think there's going to be a regime shuffle.
3 years ago.
They're just going to put new heads in and have new referendums. And
You gotta get rid of all those guys. You gotta get rid of every single person that is doing this shit, and then after that, you
Hold
can
on a second. What do you
negotiate who you can put in.
Regime
I mean, that makes more sense to me, don't you think?
Hold on, baby. What do you mean by regime change versus regime shuffle?
I think they're just going to shuffle. I think they're just. I don't want to argue with you. I'm agreeing with 99% of everything you're saying. I think that the Trump administration, or I think the war efforts are looking at, fuck, this is becoming really crazy because they keep assigning new people. So they're saying, fuck it. We're not going to take out the IRGC. It's not going to happen. So what we're just going to do is we're going to make sure that the people that are calling themselves the IRGC, they're going to be toting the line. And then they're going to pull out, and then they're going to say, fuck, we just pulled the wool over the America and Israel's head. Israel's going to be like, why the fuck are you pulling out? You left the IRGC there. We want to take them out still. I think this is so overcalculated. People are thinking that there's not going to be 1 ounce of IRGC. I think you're going to be sadly mistaken.
I think they are going to take out IRGC. Somebody else going to
Yeah,
come in.
they haven't even called for people to go protest.
Yeah, the only thing I...
Why am I off?
Hold on.
Because they haven't even called for people to go out and protest.
Sarah.
You call it a failure to want to do what you do.
The biggest...
They don't have to.
BB, hold on.
Because the people that are against the IRGC aren't even out in the streets.
Listen, the IRGC is going to get dismantled. Don't get me wrong. The name. Sorry.
Prove it. Rafi, how?
I'll explain. I'm explaining to you. Just let me finish explaining. The IRGC is going to get dismantled. The name. The people who were IRGC, they're going to go under a new name. It could be the Iranian and New Democrats or whatever the fuck they're going to name themselves.
Are they still going to be the IRGC with a different name?
Basically, just yes, with a new name. That's what I believe. The IRGC is going to get dismantled because they're not going to allow IRGC, after what they have done, they're not going to let the IRGC name to exist. Because in history, they shouldn't be existing because that's a fail to them, that's a loss. But with the weak borders that Iran has, because right now, if they destroy...
Yeah, but in history, that they didn't, if you're looking at history, they didn't kill a lot of people. Come on.
It's not about history. It's about going into...
You just said history.
We're going to look back as this is history, right? This is going to be something that we're going to look back to as a work from history. So what I'm saying is, if they are going to hit and weaken their infrastructure, which they are, this is war. When war infrastructures get hit, whatever you want to call it, freedom, or whatever terminology you're going to use, with weak borders, and the borders that they share with is not Western value-friendly countries, somebody's going to infiltrate them and start their own malicious regimes and slowly take over. And if you don't have a strong plan, which I don't see a strong plan, all I see is that it'll be free for a month or two. But within a year or two,
you just basically said the same thing I said with different words.
Just say, yes.
No, but then Sarah thinks I'm trolling. I honestly think you guys don't know what the legal anything means.
You have to understand me. If the country is split into pieces,
Nobody explained
if the country is, the IRGC doesn't leave, like stays, right? As long as Iranians don't want to overthrow an IRGC.
They have 15 to 20 million.
IRGC, stop. I don't think you understand. IRGC doesn't care to kill Iranian people as long as they don't want to overthrow the government. IRGC wants to kill Jewish people, not Iranian people. So when I say I think you're trolling, is I think, BB,
Sarah, half the of Iranians is the IRGC.
So what is your point?
You just contradicted yourself.
It's not out to kill Iranians. The IRGC kills more Iranians than anybody else does.
No. You're getting it all twisted. The 40,000 Iranians they killed, they were in the streets protesting for the IRGC regime to be toppled.
Okay, that's what killed them, Sarah. That's what killed them. What's the difference, Sarah? That's what killed them.
It's the state of Israel. You can act like a dumb person, that's fine.
Sarah, I'm not acting like a dumb person. Sarah, you're conflicted in all of your positions.
The state of Israel even praises IRGC daily. IRGC doesn't care. Between the Jewish people and Iranians, IRGC rather kill more Jewish people. If you don't know this, then that's fine.
They rather kill more, but they killed a lot of Iranians too. Sarah, I think you're wrong, and I think you're twisting yourself into a pretzel, Sarah. I think you believe that the IRGC would rather kill Israelis. The IRGC would rather kill... No, I'm not trolling. The IRGC...
I troll with you, right.
The IRGC is more intent on killing Iranians who don't stand in line.
Yeah, and I do too. They pay me so I come here and say these things. Yeah, don't tell anyone.
I don't think you understand what the word trolling means. Honestly, I don't know where the disconnection.
Wow.
Anyone who disagrees.
The IRGC could care less whether or not Israelis exist. They would much rather kill progressive Iranians. That's their intent. You coming on the stage and saying IRGC is not interested in killing Iranians. It's crazy coming from a person that claims to be Iranian.
Neighbors of Iran in the northern border, I bet you don't know.
Why would I even care? Because if in your mind, the IRGC,
in your mind, what's your point? You care enough to know
border with Iran. I'm not interested in going into Iran. But that has nothing to do with what we're talking about.
$49, $92, $53. $49, $92, $53.
Yeah, bro. No. I'm gonna turn on the radio on your bitch ass, bro.
Mine's that big.
Dude, listen. Do I need to like cup my hands underneath my ass cheeks and poo and like clap? Is this what I have to resort to?
Like I said, you guys are going by everything these people taught y'all. The people
people, like, we're asking you who they is.
When I say the thing is these people taught y'all, all you gotta do is think about who taught me this. Okay, that's what we're talking about.
Who the fuck are they?
Your teachers and professors.
Like I said, you've never met my teachers and professors, so
I don't
you
need
know.
to. I don't need to because they all basically the rubric is given to them what they can teach y'all about. You think they make up these topics?
Not my professors.
Literally, I made a 5-point
You went to a university.
syllogistic argument on the basis of this, and all he's doing is adopting global skepticism in the sense of like, now you're undermining like general consensus based on like empiricism, and that's like
really
an atheist would never even make that move, right? And here this guy finds himself in like the worst standard ever.
Let's keep it grounded. Why has the CIA confirmed other extraterrestrial?
Guys, do you know what an epistemic standard is?
Why is extraterrestrial life?
No, there is no why. Listen,
Nobody's ever confirmed extraterrestrial life.
Yes, they have.
Other than like microorganisms.
Donald Trump did. CIA does.
Yeah, and Donald Trump
CIA does. FBI, CIA documents show it.
They've confirmed.
Yes, they show. They show
phenomena.
No. You see, here's the thing. Let me mute up. Let me mute up. That's the problem. The problem is that you're just so misinformed because you only look at one source of information, which is your teachers.
No, I do not.
That's why. I get it.
Oh,
so you don't know what's going on across the world. Okay. So, do you believe you're smarter than somebody like Elon Musk? Somebody that also says there is other life out there?
I think I probably have less expertise in production efficiencies, but I'm probably just as smart as Elon Musk.
You're not anywhere close as smart as Elon Musk. But that's just my opinion, though. So
yeah, the difference between Elon Musk and me is he was born into a really wealthy family, and he's a white man.
Aren't you a white girl?
Nick!
I said he was a white man.
Yo, that room with Sarah is crazy, bro.
That's the objective. It's not.
That room with Sarah is crazy.
Well, she left the app for a little bit and then came back, but then she just starts screaming all the time.
I know that's what you got to realize. It's like it's just called the Sarah Show. Like that's all it is.
Yes.
I mean, it's fun to like. I want to like make fun of her, you know, and get her angry and see her crash out. I mean, that's the truth. And I'll tell you what, like, if I was on the other end of the spectrum, meaning like I was her enemy, I would probably actually like to see her silenced, not necessarily like killed, but she's got that loud mouth where it's like it's not even about what she's saying; it's all about how she says it. And, you know, let me just give you a little sample. Here you go.
You fuck off with your Iranian and your anti-Semitic shit. I don't want to talk about Nazi Germany. I don't want to talk about Jew hate. You guys always go down that fucking road. Compare your little fight with fucking Nazi Germany. Stop.
I'm saying that when the Germans, lost the war, what happened to the Nazis? It comes to IRGC as well. Same thing. They're gonna go down the road. Same road. That's all I'm saying.
Is there still Nazis in Germany today?
I know. They're gonna be.
Is there? Yes or no?
Yes, they're
Is there still Nazis in Italy today?
They are.
Is there still Nazis in Italy today? Is there still Nazis in Italy? Is there still Nazis in Italy today? Okay, so my whole point, you proved my point. You will not get rid of them.
They are still gonna
So
be
by me
IRGC.
saying you will not get rid of them, that calls me a troll because I'm speaking the truth. Like, get the fuck out of here.
Bibi, I'm saying that there are gonna be IRGC supporters.
And you're Iranian, right? And you're Iranian?
Yes, I am.
Perfect. And you believe what I believe.
Yes.
So are you anti-Iranian? Are you anti-Iranian because you believe what I believe?
No, baby.
No,
Don't twist the conversation.
No. I'll interrupt you. The point is that you believe exactly what I believe. So does that make you a piece of shit? Because it made me a piece of shit 3 minutes ago. No, and I don't believe
you. Land my plane, okay?
Just don't crash it into a building. Go ahead.
Yeah, okay. There are gonna be IRGC supporters after the Germany lost the war. But the thing is that they're not gonna have the power anymore. They're not gonna be, supported.
IRGC is a fucking government. If you mean Islamic supporters, of course no one
Islam.
can take them out.
IRGC supporters, Islamic supporters.
Saying US is such a dumb. You're saying US is such a dumb government.
The Nazi party was a government.
Everybody's a troll to Sarah today, guys. Everybody's trolling.
No.
Now you're calling them your Persian guy a troll.
Doing that.
Now Dana's a troll. Dana's a troll too now, all of a sudden.
That we've had Iranians come in the room and call Bibi anti-Semite, and I'm like, idiot, he's a Jew. Like, what are you saying?
You're such a liar. That was never said once. You fucking liar.
I'm gonna
What's wrong with you?
You troll so
Send me the screenshots. You're such a liar.
Jack is giving you thumbs up and thumbs down to me.
Yeah.
He's enjoying your trolling. Thank you, Jack.
I don't even think you know what the word trolling is. Can you even spell trolling, Sarah?
Yeah. But anyways, that's the thing. They're not gonna be in power. They will be controlled. So like the Nazi. Okay? That's the whole point. Sorry.
It's one of the saddest days actually in this room where Sarah was allowed to call a woman saying, go sit on a fucking eggplant. She made 2 anti-Semitic comments to me in the last 5 minutes. She's insulted women in this room. She's insulted men. She's dropped women.
On my screenshot so you embarrassed the woman. She told me Sarah wants to suck on an eggplant, and I said, she wrote it in the comment, and I said on your mind, somebody give her an eggplant.
Can we have a conversation?
Please, let's get it.
Like, honestly, Sarah,
I came into this room to talk about Trump and Iran updates, and all I've heard is you screeching on the mic, trying to say how creative a person you are and how crazy BB is.
Okay.
I don't care.
Okay.
Can we talk about the topic, please?
Talk about the topic. Go on.
Topic, please.
Go ahead.
I'm sorry, excuse
Yeah,
me.
please.
One mic on
All
TC.
right.
Go ahead.
Excuse me, I just want to. I'm sorry.
By the way, TC, no, I'm talking. Shut up, please. Thank you, sir. Whoever that is, I can't see you.
Angel.
TC, you set the topic, the question.
Not too much on Angel.
Oh, is it Angel?
Yeah, I'm sorry, because you know what I was trying to do? I was just trying to say, excuse me, can I please say hello to TC before
I
I
I'm sorry. I can't see the screen. Like, I hear this little voice. I thought it was somebody else. Okay, sorry about that, Angel. TC, set the topic, the question, the statement. Go for it. Whatever you want to talk
No,
about.
I don't want to study anything. I came in because there's been some updates. Apparently, Trump is negotiating. That's kind of weird with Iranian leadership, even though Trump hasn't said who the Iranian leadership is that he's negotiating with. He's delayed his 48-hour ultimatum in terms of striking their power plants. This undisclosed person, a high-ranking official within Iranian government, has basically admitted that he is in conversation, or his team is in conversation with Americans related to It might not be true.
No, they denied. The foreign minister denied, Parliament Speakman denied, and also the TV denied as well that they are in talks.
So wait, they're denying that Donald Trump is
Denying that they are negotiating. They said there is no negotiation.
No, that's not all them. That's not all them. Please let me talk. I know who's talking to Trump.
Who is?
Okay, so yeah, thank you guys. So first off, I am getting more proud and more proud voting to this genius guy Trump. You know, but now there is two type of people in 90% of the regime supporters. All of them has blood on their hand, and I hate all of it. But there is two type there. Definitely, there is two group who hated Ayatollah Khamenei within that regime. I'm talking about within that regime. Don't get me wrong, I hate it now. But there is a two type. So now there is a two type Ayatollah. I will name them. That Trump probably is talking to them, or talking with the group who has contacted them. Number one is Rouhani, former president, who criticized Ayatollah Khamenei publicly many times, and he has been threatened by Khamenei supporters. Number two Ayatollah is Maulavi Abdul Hamid, who is Sunni. So please think wisely who Trump is talking to. Yes, TV, national TV.
Wait, one second. Trump came out and said that he's speaking with a respected leader in Iran. So I doubt that he's speaking to a Sunni cleric on the issue to Iran. I doubt it.
Another guy. Okay.
I don't accept your argument that these are the only two options we have. How do we know he's not speaking to the president? How do we know he's not speaking to Khomeini?
Well, yeah, because the president cannot, because everybody connected to the officials in his government administration now in Iran.
Are you guessing?
I'm guessing.
Well, no, not even that he's guessing. Like he talks about a governing. Hold on, you're talking about a governing body in Iran. Who's the governing body in Iran again? Remind me.
The government, the administration, Pezeshkian, there's judiciary.
No. I'm not talking about Pezeshkian.
It's IRGC right now.
It's not IRGC. That's the point, right? He's making the argument that this is a binary option in terms of who Trump could be talking to. I don't accept that. He could certainly be talking to Peshkin. You don't have an intact operating government outside of the president at this point. We don't even know if Khomeini is alive right now. He's so sorely wounded, Khomeini Jr., whatever his name is. I'm not going to try and remember all these names. Khomeini Jr., he's so mortally wounded, he hasn't even put out a full statement with him on camera. He's only putting out written statements. And then he's put out by the Council of the Clerics to try and make it look like he's still alive. We don't know that. So that's my point. You're giving us alternatives and binaries that you yourself can't even justify or validate.
Yeah, I'm saying Trump is talking with the opposition within that Revolutionary Guard. Opposition within that regime. That's what I'm saying.
Can I ask you a question?
That's a guess. Yeah.
How many people did Rouhani kill?
Many people since 1980s. He has lots of blood in his hands.
Oh,
but
so
look, Trump. But
what
look,
about
Trump.
The other guy? What about the other guy that you named? You named someone I don't even know.
Yeah, Maulavi Abdul Hamid.
Yeah,
He's not going to talk with that. He's not going to talk with him. I'm saying those people are fine.
Question: what percentage of Iranians would approve Rouhani? Give me a percentage if you were to guess. Because now we're talking about half of IRGC supporters, because half of them are going to even reject Rouhani. So what percentage of Iranians will approve Rouhani?
5%.
Do you think Trump is going to gamble putting Rouhani and stuff?
No, he's not.
In Iran?
No, he won't. Trump is talking to someone who can at least make the situation for the Iranian people to bring the temper down. That's what he's doing. He doesn't want to make Rouhani next Ayatollah. He want to talk to some people who has some access to
What is
IRGC.
Rouhani gonna do? Why would Rouhani even help? Because in the future, Rouhani's
doesn't
gonna
make
go to
sense.
prison. He's gonna be executed for all the lives that he's taken, for all the
Well,
blood he has in his hands.
If Rouhani comes up today and say, yes, I talked to Trump, then trust me, the whole regime will start collapsing. That's the strategy. The whole regime will start collapsing. They will kill each other. They will kill each other.
Rouhani,
What is your...
Rouhani, he knows that people don't want him, and because of the number of blood on his hand, people are going to prosecute him if they even let him live.
Okay, Sarah, may I ask a question? May I ask a question for you? I already answered a question. So may I ask a question for you, Sarah? So we know that probably 80% are against this regime and 20% are supporting this regime inside Iran. How many percent of those 20% do you think will vote for Rouhani today?
I believe 20% of inside Iran support.
How many percent do you believe? 10%?
Maybe 10% and half of that.
Okay.
After that, whether regime changes or not, they won't even blink. They're not going to be fighting.
How many percent do you think Rouhani has support? Within those 10%?
No, because it's 5, maybe couple percent, 2%.
So let's say that 10% is 100%. How many percent of those 100% Rouhani supporters?
What are you doing? Like, to confuse people?
Okay, that's enough.
But why are you making people on the stage and in the audience confused?
Okay, so what I believe in is that actually, if Trump find a chance to negotiate with anyone within Iran, so they accept the complete surrender, and also it's the same as toppling the regime. I mean, if someone negotiating in Iran, if someone accept the complete surrender and then accept
complete
to have a
surrender
regime,
is not called negotiation.
No. Yeah, exactly. That's the least that Trump wants. Okay, exactly. I know. But if someone within Iran, within the regime, accept that in terms of maybe to get some points in a set, like get like some immunity or something like that, the Trump, I'm sure that's gonna accept that because he wants to end the war ASAP with less cost. So that might be an option,
Listen, if they surrender, anybody who can get them to surrender has to deal with U.S. at any point of this war. There's no doubt about that.
Exactly.
They will give them the deal to go to Russia, whatever the fuck they want to go, and just pack and leave. But that's not what negotiation is.
I know that's not. But they call it negotiation with 2 fingers blinking. Negotiation.
I think Kevin is a Islam Talab supporter. Are you Kevin or no? Oh, he already left?
He already left, yeah.
Yeah, we know what he was.
But TC, also TC, so
What did you say for me? What did you say about me?
I was saying, are you Islam
No,
Talab?
she's asking.
I'm asking.
Yeah, what are you asking? No, hell no, fuck no.
Oh, you're not?
No.
Interesting. And then you think...
I support Reza Pahlavi.
But you think they're negotiating with Rouhani. And by negotiation, do you mean making a deal to surrender or negotiation?
Yes, making the deal. Look, the main...
wrong vocabulary.
Yes, the main goal is toppling the regime. And it's the favorite thing for the Trump.
Exactly.
But he needs to find a way. Yeah, that's my favorite, and I think it's the initial goal for the Trump too. But what I'm saying, he needs to find a way, some way.
Exactly. Yeah, Kevin, I agree with you. But Sarah misunderstood you.
No, I 100% misunderstood you because we're talking about how the regime cannot be toppled. So So negotiating with people within, and then you came in the conversation.
We are on the same page.
You're absolutely correct. Anybody who wants a deal to help, even if they help, to get 5 people surrender that are worthy. By surrender, again, I mean them to just not fight and want to leave and make a deal with them. They've been making a deal with them for a long time.
Sorry, I just want to go. So before going, just TC. So is he here, TC? Yes, I think he left. Okay, guys, just so you know, at the moment, the Ayatollah, the one which is in power right now, Khamenei Moghawai, we call him. He's actually not the guy in power. Okay, the guy, we don't even know if he's alive or not, because they're saying that 2 of his legs gone. I don't know how his head is injured badly, and even for the new Iranian guy didn't come and even gave out like a voice message or something. It was just a written message.
Did they ever give speech on the Persian New Year? I don't think they did.
No, he didn't.
Consider themselves Iranian. They don't celebrate the.
They do actually. No. But Khamenei, the old one, the one with no right hand. Okay. That guy would every year in the Sultan, he would come and give a speech about some bunch of bullshit, anyways. But anyways, this year this guy even didn't give out a record sound message. Just so you know, we think most likely he's even dead or in a coma or something. We don't know. But the actual people who are in right now are IRGC. It's kind of like a coup, because even there are talks that they don't want this guy, the Khamenei Jr., to come to power, and IRGC kind of forced everyone to vote for him, and they brought him to power, so they can control the whole country and stuff. By them, I mean IRGC. So basically, right now, the country is being run by IRGC. Even there is this guy Reza, he's a high-rank IRGC high rank. After the old guy died, he became the consultant of the new the new Khamenei Jr. guy. So just so you guys know, and now the country is basically being run by IRGC group. That's all, actually. Thank you guys very much for the talk, and have a great rest of conversation.
Did my internet get disconnected? I'm not using
Quiet
on the stage.
The IRGC took out your internet, Sarah.
It's together between the communication. Wow, everybody's quiet. Maybe a little pause is good.
I want to say what no one else has said. Trump is lying.
You know what? That's uncalled for. They can't unchallenged. What is he lying about?
He's not talking to anybody. He's just buying time. Because he knows damn well he wasn't going to do that.
And how do you know that? How do you, hold on.
It's a strategy.
How do you know that? How do you know that?
His actions tell me so.
Or what actions tell you that?
that he's not going to go to the 48 hours. He's happy to find a way to not commit to that because he knew that wasn't going to change anything and that was going to cause a little more problems than he wanted. So he decided to get out of it.
Like,
I think Marco Rubio said, "Come on, Trump, you got to calm down on that one." I think he slowed him down. I think he's just trying to figure out how to sound good to the people. No, he just never want to change his posture. That's what I think. I think he's lying.
okay, I'd love like some way to support it though, other than just conjecture. I'm not trying to be debating with you. I just
we're not debating.
I'm just trying to
debating.
I always need to understand the context of it, and some people have conjecture in here, just like support.
Yeah, it just comes across as disingenuous. It doesn't seem like all of a sudden he just decided somebody just like, yo, you don't want to do this. This is too. This is really going down a place that you don't want to go. So somebody advised him to not do that, and then he said, okay, I'm gonna figure out how to say that I'm still, the bad guy. I'm still talking shit, so I'm gonna say it like that. So in 5 days, watch. You're not gonna. I'm telling you, he's not gonna do anything. He wasn't gonna destroy the grid.
Hey, Trump's not the bad guy now.
Badass.
Our friend Leroy here has been diagnosed with a severe case of TDS.
Yeah, well,
we know anything Trump does, guys.
I think you're gonna have to wait and see, though. I don't want it. Listen,
our prayers go out to you, Leroy. Maybe we can get you some medical help. Maybe we'll start a GoFundMe for your TDS.
I tell you what, though. I'll stay in good health, and let's see in 5 days what's the next thing he's gonna say when he says, "Oh, they decide not to negotiate. Oh, they're not cooperating." Let's see what he says. I promise you, I'm making a prediction. I just made a prediction. He's gonna come back with some new shit. I promise you.
Yeah, because he's gonna have to go through with it because it's called negotiating and it's called putting down the power of the American might, right? By saying, hey, if you don't come to the table and let's start these negotiations, we're gonna just fucking take out your power plants and that's it. And all your people are gonna be fucking. So is your army.
Now
they don't want that shit. They don't want that.
The dumbest thing.
So whatever they say,
that would be the dumbest thing you could do.
Trump, please don't do it. Please, they probably beg, please, we don't.
Let me tell you what's gonna do. I hear what you're saying. He can't say he cares about the people who he says he cares about. It's not gonna work. You can't destroy the people and say you care about them.
You guys will hold his ear to the fucking stove, Trump. Like nothing is good enough for you guys.
I mean, you don't have to you don't have to like my speculation, but I promise you, 5 days from now, you're going to come back and say, you know what? I hate this motherfucker, but he was...
5 days, we're going to come back and tell you that whatever you were saying 5 days before that was wrong.
Lord, if within the next 48 hours... Hold on, guys. If in the next 48 hours, U.S. or Israel or together, they take out one of these generals left in the top people, would you then agree that, oh, maybe it wasn't a lie, but it was a strategy to make some movements within the government, causing panic for some people who are hiding so they can find them and eliminate them. Like, I mean, not everything has to be.
Why are you gambling on world affairs like they're horse races? I don't know.
You're right.
I don't know what you're saying, Marsha, but I can tell you're drunk again. Somebody left the bar.
Marsha, what are your thoughts on it? Marsha, what are your thoughts on it?
My thoughts would be, having talked to Anson, seen where we've been, if we had gotten their infrastructure out of the way for ballistic missiles, if we've gotten their Navy,
So put on
we've
good
got their Air
programming.
Force, we've got their capability to deal with nuclear weaponry, then it's time to come home.
That's interesting.
Me to relieve sufferers, cast out devils, but here
And
I can.
does that
How are you doing?
overtly like we don't do
Not
anything? No. I actually think the Iranians should overthrow their government. But I don't think that happens without some sort of outside support. I'll remind everybody, the American Revolution didn't happen on its own.
happened with Dutch and French support. As much as we like to tell ourselves we struggled up our own bootstraps, we didn't. The ability to confront the regular, the ability to do what we need to do with us throughout the powers for different reasons, different imperial and colonial reasons. But it was that we did things. That's instructive because if you want something to happen here, if you're of the belief that the regime is bad, should be overtaken, and shouldn't be in power, then you would support some sort of paramilitary actions. Because that's aside from U.S. troops on the ground, the way to do it, and we're not sticking U.S. troops on the ground. So
I think everyone needs to read The Art of the Deal. Go back and read it.
You better not put boots on the ground. You'll really be destroyed.
Yeah, but everyone is being so... They don't understand, I deal with back and forth negotiations all the time, and you need to realize how you negotiate. And unfortunately, there's people in this country who don't understand how negotiations work, and they assume that he's doing this and he's doing that and they're doing that and they're doing this. As somebody who deals in negotiations, that's
Are
not
you negotiating one shot or two shot tonight?
Listen, I wish he was negotiating with someone, but it just seems so Trump. You know what I'm saying? He just talks a lot of shit, and when he's ready to get out of stuff, he says the next shit. And he's a liar for sure, and he's a staller. And I think he's put his foot in his mouth when he made that big announcement that if you don't do it,
You didn't prove it, Leroy. I'm asking you to give me your conjecture.
Listen. Let me say something about you needing proof. Nobody knows anything. So stop asking for proof. You don't know what you're saying either.
No one knows anything. How do you know that?
No, you don't.
How would you know you're lying if you don't know anything?
Just because you're accepting what you hear doesn't mean you know.
What if one of us in the room, Leroy, gets briefed by Congress, by someone in Congress? Do you think they may know something more than you?
That's right.
Think so, Leroy?
I think you could rely on Congress to tell you, but how do you know they're telling you the truth?
Oh, so they're lying too?
Sure.
Okay, so what's your evidence, Leroy? You're using strong words.
I think the first casualty of war is the truth. We know that. So whenever there's war,
so what are you preaching about then?
Say what?
So what are you preaching about over here then? He's lying.
I'm surprised. Here's what I think. No, let me answer. I'm amazed.
Super duper lazy.
Maybe I'm amazed.
No, I'm fascinated.
It's not intellectual at all. It's lazy.
Yeah. I think it's lazy. I think what's lazy is to take him at his word.
Was your academic expertise? Come on.
Leroy, I bet you were taking every word of Obama, and you were probably like, "Oh my God, he's the best president."
No, wait a minute. Don't be racist.
The 2006.
Don't be racist.
You were singing the song, the Young People song.
Don't be racist.
The white boy rage quit.
You're being racist.
What's racist? Excuse me. Hold on, everyone.
Did I say that was
racist? Leroy, what's racist?
He knows that I'm a black person, so he brings up racist. He knows that I'm a black person, so he brings up a black man. That's kind of really.
What's that have to do with questioning a president?
He could have said Biden, but he said Obama.
Biden and Obama, same shit, really, honestly. But
no, he didn't say something like that.
People
It's a backhand racist.
You gotta get deep when he come out here.
Because I said Obama. Wow.
Well, I tell you what. Wait. Listen. Why don't we wait 5 now and listen to the new shit? The fact that
does.
Wait. Let me finish. Let him cook. 5 days from now, 5 days from now, he's gonna tell you some new shit, and you're gonna believe that too.
Look how mad Trump gets it.
Show. Like, that's all it is.
Yes.
I mean, it's fun to like. I want to like make fun of her, you know, and get. They want a second proof of address now. Holy shit.
Leroy, I know what you're cooking, brother.
He's pandering. You guys eat this shit up.
Deny it. But he's like, it's because we're going to turn the lights because it's this. Like, bro, calm down.
Obviously, you all don't understand.
He's not going to turn the lights out.
Make stuff up out of the clear blue sky.
He's not going to turn the lights out. You know that. Stop it.
I believe that their work talks. He wouldn't have made that up out of the clear.
If they don't open the streets of the Moose, yeah, they will do it. Watch. So let's see what happens.
I don't want to
I
bet.
suggest you read The Art of the Deal, Mr. Mediocre.
Like, what he said,
I want to bet. He's not going to do that shit, man.
Miss Abby, can I please jump in? Leroy, I want you to think about something. By broadcasting it, maybe the people of Iran might put internal pressure on the regime. Think about that.
What people? The people with no guns? Are you fucking kidding me now? Are you fucking kidding me now?
This shit is hilarious.
Leroy, what other assets are on the ground in Iran?
People
In
with
Tehran,
no
do you know?
fucking guns are putting
Leroy, do you know what other assets might be on the ground in Tehran? Do you have any idea?
Y'all are fucking
Do you?
cultists, man.
Really? Tell me about it, Leroy. Tell me about what other assets could be on the ground now in Tehran. Harry, do you want to explain to him how there was a drone? Hold on, everyone. Do you want to explain to him how there was a drone
He don't believe
factory?
him right now, but he cool with them.
God, don't talk over it. Leroy.
There
was a drone factory.
Now you're trying to bully the nigga with your shit.
No. Okay, there was a drone factory owned and operated.
Man, this bitch is fucking determined.
Whoa. Don't call it a B word. That's not cool.
There was a drone factory owned and operated by the Israelis in Tehran. You don't think there are assets on the ground in Tehran right now? Do you have any idea about that? Or do you just want to say absolutely not and not even understand the nature of what's already been planted? How did they get the intel that they had to this point? And what do you think is operating within?
Okay, let me humor you. I know that communications are being had, right? I don't think that there's no conversation, communication. I'm sure they're getting information, right? I think those regime, they're getting information about what Trump is saying, and Trump is getting information about what they're saying probably, right? So we know things are going back and forth. Do I think it's a negotiation, like the Iranians got scared because he said, "Ooh, if you don't do the straight, we're gonna blow up do you think that I believe the Iranians are that weak and brittle? Fuck no. That doesn't make sense.
Yeah, obviously you don't know the Iranians then.
They're not. Obviously, you can see what they are made of. They're still fucking fighting.
No, they're actually not. Obviously, don't know what's really going on over there. Do you? Have you read anything?
Sure. Why isn't it over yet then?
Have you listened to anything from CENTCOM at all? Watched any
Why
videos
is it
they
not?
posted?
If it's
Go on X and then just.
Why isn't it over? Why isn't it not over?
Can I ask Leroy a question? Leroy, I'm curious here. What's up, everybody?
Hey, Mike.
Leroy, why is the strait closed?
Because the Iranians said they're gonna blow up all the tanks.
Why would they do that? That's not.
They're doing that. They said that because they wanna. You know why they're doing that? I can tell you why. You wanna know? Because they've been planning for this shit for a long time, and they know they want to punish America into fucking with them.
So I know why.
I know why.
God, hold on, guys.
And that's what they said. I go by what they said.
Hey, man, it's so hard talking to a liberal. Leroy, hold on. Yeah.
I'm not fucking liberal, bro.
Leroy, let me talk to you.
Sure.
The strait is closed. The strait's closed because if an oil tanker, which by the way has innocent people on it, right? These are just people. These are captains of ships and crews that are on ships.
Sure.
If it goes through the strait, Iran's going to blow it up, which means they're attacking innocent people. Yes. So you're saying, hey, leave Iran alone, or else they're going to kill innocent people, and you're just like cool with that. You're like, yeah,
what the fuck?
We're just gonna ignore the fact that Iran's.
Your mother used to drop. Your mother used to drop you for no reason. That's not what I said. Your mother used to just drop your ass for no reason.
But are you okay with them attacking innocent people on oil tankers?
I'm not talking about what I'm okay. You asked me
why are they doing it? And guess what? I heard one say, and this is what was said: we are going to do that and punish America economically, and that's what the fuck they are doing. Based on what I heard one said, they're carrying it out.
Where is the economic?
I don't know what's up today.
America keeps doing it, attacking us.
Like you sound just like I don't know. Like
I'm just telling you what I heard.
We don't even use Iran, and you didn't hear that.
Oh my God, I can't tell you what I heard.
No, you can't.
Okay, let me get the
on CNN or on.
No. I'm gonna get the guy who said it, and then I'll come back to you guys because you guys think it is me who said this. I don't know why you can't accept that I heard something, but no, you don't believe that.
You said this the other day in this.
No.
You said there was.
It's called hearsay.
I'm looking at you said this the other day in this room that Iran was going to cause economic instability because oil jumped up to $2 a gallon or whatever it is, and you were like, look at the instability. It's still below what we had under Biden, but somehow or another you equated that to an economic downfall in the U.S. And then when I pointed out the fact that we don't even use Iranian oil, and we talked about the private companies going in there and post the war and offering contracts and offering a new way forward and all that stuff, you ended up being very quiet because you know why? You were wrong. And all this shit you hear is just like fucking, I don't even know. Like, you can't make this shit up. Stop reading fucking TikTok memes.
I'm surprised you haven't learned by now, dude. This is like
okay. All right, can I get the
Iran? Or
that's fine. You can say that. I'm gonna get the guy name and let you listen to him and see what you.
I mean, y'all can't be trashing his sources on someone just referenced Twitter.
Oh no, just trust you. Just trust your sources. Nobody else. I get.
Okay, you just said Iran's going to cause economic harm. How is Iran causing economic harm to the U.S. if the market is up, if our unemployment is still pretty much at par with, like, doing good with an economy, we still have developments, we still have everything going on. Tell me where the economic harm is.
Hey, man, I just know the guy said the Straits is one of the main arteries. So the Straits is one of the main arteries. So let's see why is that important and how is that affecting the economy?
I know why it's important. I also know that its narrowest point is 21 fucking miles.
And so why is it so big of a deal then?
Because 70% of the world's trade flows through there from Africa, India.
There you go.
So no.
There you go.
And that's
90%,
why the US
right?
is basically. Okay, so shut the fuck again. Dumb fucking idiots again. You might as well go up with the Iran to Canada crowd.
Let me get the guy's name. I'll be back.
Yeah. So, like, this idea that somehow or another we just destroyed their entire coastal batteries. We sank their fucking navy. We even allowed a sub to sink a ship for the first time since World War II. You think somehow they're going to be able to do it. The only thing we're concerned about is what Mike said. The one inadvertent rocket we can't shoot down out of the 20 mil cent that'll probably blow up somewhere in the sky or hit the water or fall off because they don't have guidance for shit. All of a sudden, one might go through and hit that ship, or some fucking crab fisherman wannabe Houthi fucking rebel will go on there and fucking kill civilians. And that's the only thing we're preventing. And right now, Cooper's got that fucking straight on lock. They have it on lock. The Navy has done a fucking bang up job in record time, sank Iran's fucking impressive fleet. They destroyed it. So the economic harm you're talking about is more of a cautionary measure done by Trump to ensure that other nations don't have to risk their civilian sailors and their cargo at millions of dollars just in that strait. And so he's just pausing there. What you are stating is a whole bunch of shit from some fucking guy that you heard it from.
Thank you. How do you not understand?
Wow, what a fucking rocket science. That's what I've been saying the whole time is what I heard. So why can't I say it? That makes no sense what you just said.
Because you're stating
I told you from the moment I heard this shit. What the fuck is different by what you said?
And now
you said a whole bunch of shit. No, wait.
on the bandwagon, and we won't charge you any fees. But the more bullshit you talk, we gonna get you, man. Stop with the bullshit. You just pick up. You have the inability to assume positive intent on behalf of this administration, and that's your downfall. Your bias is showing at every turn. Every time you open your mouth, your bias comes flying through.
And this what's crazy, Anthony, is that they inadvertently are arguing for fucking people. They're like, oh, why doesn't Trump just back off? Now look what he's caused. They're going to attack innocent people on the street. Well, yeah, guess what now the United States is doing? We're protecting them also. It's like I heard one time, well, do you see all these sleeper cells waking up? Well, if you wouldn't attack them, then the sleeper cells wouldn't wake up. What? Excuse me?
Yeah, we're trying to protect the Iranians.
Okay, I was just going to say, Leroy's probably the type of character, if Trump found a cure for cancer, he'll come on here and be like, well, maybe they wanted to die of cancer. Why would Trump take that away from them?
Right. Did you see the one
he's disabled. He has a disability, and the disability is an inability to assume positive intent on behalf of it. No matter what they do if it's controversial at all, if they can see it through another perspective in any way, they're going to latch onto that and say, he's wrong, he shouldn't have done it, this is why he shouldn't have done it. I had a libtard, not you, Leroy, tell me on another stage tonight that it can't be an imminent threat because they weren't actively about to attack us. We need to actually suffer casualties before, we can, we need to see the weapon actually aimed at our bases. And this is the level of buffoonery we're dealing with.
But they don't even take into account the fact of 241 Marines, Beirut, Lebanon. They don't count for the 613 in Iraq. They don't care about the fact that even under Biden, they attacked U.S. ships. They fucking took fucking sailors and put them on their knees and held guns to their heads. But somehow or another,
it's just the Obama ROI bullshit. That's just all it is.
Oh, Jesus.
Brad, that's the point, bro. Brad, you're right. Like, everyone thinks, well, they're not a threat to the mainland. They don't have to attack the mainland USA to attack America. They've been attacking us for fucking ever, bro. They attack
we've got bases all
the fucking time, bro. They take people hostages. Just the shit Brad pointed out. And Brad just probably rattled off the shit on the top of his head. Imagine this shit he actually fucking would go fucking look up. It's fucking crazy. Like,
I could go through some of the list if you want to hear it, Mike. We could start with
I just want to make sure people are listening.
The soldiers, and we can get over to the embassy in Lebanon. Should we keep going down to South America? We can go our U.S. ambassadors that were threatened that they had assassination attempts. We've got Pompeo still walking around with his detail. Bolton, we had our U.S. president, an assassination. I mean, this is just some of the more recent things, but, I mean, do you want to just go through the litany of their proxies and what they've done to U.S. citizens?
Miss Abby, I just want to give a shout out to the MSGs over there in Pakistan. They went gangster as fuck. Literally, dude, those MSGs stayed on point.
This shit drives me nuts, man, and, like, it's like they were actively arguing to put Maduro back in power, fucking weirdos. Like, they don't even get it. They're so anti-Trump.
Right, I remember, like,
get it. Right now, they're arguing they're all climate change nonsense. Right now, they're arguing they want Cuba to want to use more oil. Like, Venezuela cut off the oil in Cuba. They're like, no, give them back their oil so they can emit more. Like, they don't even realize what they're talking about.
I remember
for climate change, you should be happy they're not using any oil for electricity.
I was at a dinner party with some friends when the whole Maduro thing happened, and I was like, "Oh, this is great! Like, Maduro is a bad guy, right? We're happy that what's happening in Venezuela is positive because we got rid of Maduro." But I had liberal friends who were at the dinner party. They're like, it's like, no, but like, that's not nice. Like, Maduro, sorry.
Okay.
But yeah, I had like my friends say what we did was not nice. It was like kidnapping. It was like this. It was that. It's like, but I was Yeah, like the ends justify the means, and
Drink some water, David.
Here's a bad guy.
You can do
I'm
it.
sorry.
You're doing great.
You were crushing it, David, and I totally agree with you, David. Like you're all there. In the military operation there, no one even gives credit to that. I will say, I heard one liberal in one other room who's like diehard Trump. He's an ex-military guy, but he's a Trump hater, and he's like, that fucking operation was nuts. Like, think about what we did. We took out a fucking another country's leader in one fucking night with 0 casualties.
Yeah, and no American died. And no American died.
Mike, can I just add that the Israelis have a fucking amazing army too?
Oh, agreed.
Like, can we just I know there's bashers of Israel in here, but the two armies together are probably the two best armies in the world. And they just, I listened to our Secretary of War talk about this, and just the synergy of the two forces going in together, seamless. Just phenomenal.
Bro,
so it's kind of shout out to both armies.
Here the Israelis are like, yeah, every time these fucking idiots shoot a fucking drone at us, we're watching everywhere, and we fucking bomb where they shot the fucking missile. It's like they'll shoot one, they won't shoot anymore. Like, it's like crazy type of shit.
Well, we don't even realize. I like look at the KDR from it, though. The KDR is fucking beautiful.
Steph, and Mike, you'll like this. So, like, they were bragging. You had a whole bunch of guys earlier bragging about how, like, Diego Garcia got fired upon. And I'm laughing at it because, 2 missiles fell into the fucking ocean showing their guidance systems. And we basically shadowed the fucking thing until we were like, all right, you're 10 miles out. We're just going to blow it up. And they popped it, and it wasn't like it was anything big, but they celebrated. You had these libtards celebrate, like, oh, look, they shot at Diego Garcia, and it was like, yeah, we were just monitoring it. We were just playing around with it. That's how easy it is for us. It's not even close.
It's crazy.
It sounds like almost like they want us to fail, which is like crazy, but it sounds like that's what they want.
So I know that this is the Trump side of
the Democrats.
Like, but the one argument about Cuba is not correct. The reason why you have people arguing about giving Cuba oil is for humanitarian reasons. That's the exact same reason why Mexico was going to continue to send them oil, but Venezuela cut them off. You have people can't let generating, can't operate.
People say a burp is worse than a fart.
Systems are all down.
I think a burp is worse than a fart. Nick, there's an issue with that.
About the environment, I found to be very.
Some people say a burp is worse than Nick, here's the thing. When you say that, I can empathize to a certain point. I feel bad for the people. But you know where I don't feel bad for? The people in Havana, like the protesters out there saying, oh, it's so dark. But they held a rock fucking concert while people on ventilators died because you know what? It was more important to keep the tourist hotels up and provide a rock concert in Cuba than they actually run fucking electricity to their major areas. And the hospitals that went dark were in, guess where? Not in the bougie rich area, not where all the power was, not where all the tourists were. It was in the oppressed areas of Cuba, and they let them die. So Cuba doesn't have an energy, it has a social problem. And fuck Cuba right now.
I saw that.
So, I don't think that's a lot. Like, the people don't run the electricity grid. How is it on the people? I don't think that makes sense.
Well, they're rationing it, right? They're rationing
the dictatorship started taking the oil. Do you really think the oil that came from Mexico to Cuba, the dictatorship is actually going to let the people utilize that for their generators? No. They're going to self-sustain their narratives. They're not going to delegate it amongst the people for humanitarian reasons.
That's what I was saying, because they were rationing the electricity. So, like, they rationed it, and then someone contacted fucking Hassan, and they flew all those people. They knew they were flying all down there, and so, like, they rationed it to the hotel just so they could have all that shit. It's fucking crazy. That's what. And then, look, I agree with you.
Through a rock concert.
Yeah, the Irish rappers about Free Palestine. But Mother, I agree with you. Like, I'm not saying they should have their oil. Like, they need to have electricity for the people. I'm saying how hypocritical it is that you have Greta Thunberg, who's all about stop oil, and now they're bitching because Cuba. Shouldn't you be happy that Cuba's not getting you oil? I'm saying? Like their arguments, they end up in
She didn't age well, Mike. Don't you think? She did not age well. She looks really weird.
What do you have against Greta Thunberg?
I just think she's very dorky.
Being a conservative has a position about Iran.
She's not very principled.
And she's also, without the respect, she's not very good looking. She doesn't feel the spectrum.
This is like crazy hatred. You guys are sick. Not crazy hatred. She's like crazy hatred. Like, why would
She's not principled.
Why would
She doesn't understand the issues.
That's so
She's a
immature.
woman. She has their own.
That's so fucking immature. Yeah. Oh, but let's just
That's not
like she had control of it. She had so much control of the way that she does have control of the worst.
She has control over what she says.
Yes, I can give her like a better person to.
Is she a woman or is she a they them?
I think she's a they them.
But also,
Wait, Bima, you never heard me talk about the pantsuits of Kamala. Like, I can really go on.
She's whatever the virtual signal says.
Aren't appearance, Abby.
I thought
You could change. Yeah, well, I think you're disgusting.
You
can't speak. It doesn't matter. The point is that it's an opinion, and then it's just.
Bima, have you ever made fun of Trump for the way Trump looks, Bima? Ever?
No, I never have.
Oh, child.
The way Trump looks. I'm not a Trump hater. I'm not a Trump hater. I don't hate Trump.
You never talk about more skin, fat. Come on, Bima.
No,
he is your president of the United States, so you should be nice.
You guys want to hear some breaking news?
No, I don't care about that. I don't care.
Hey, we got breaking news. Breaking news. So apparently they just hit a utility center in Bushishar. Wow. Yes, apparently they hit the utility center. And apparently a lot of people got affected, even all the way to Turkey, the power grids, Syria, not Syria, where is it saying? 1 second.
Drop the link.
Is it a good thing or a bad thing?
1/5 of Turkey lost its power also.
Good thing.
Here we go. Kuwait and Iraq lost power. So yeah, apparently that's what they hit. Also, they hit an oil field. Asaloya. I don't know what that means.
Who hit it, Israel or U.S.?
I don't know, but it's a joint
Drop the link,
operation.
Rocky, so we can read it.
It's not really a link. It's people that are reporting that have people on the ground there with an Israel.
Alright, I'm gonna go search for something.
But apparently they just hit it. They just now, so.
Leroy was wrong. Leroy was wrong.
In southwest of Iran, there is a city called Khorramshahr. The gas pipeline was hit. Some offices.
What did you say?
It's called Khorramshahr. It's in.
I got the holder again.
It's not Horchata.
Was reported.
It's in southwest of Iran. It's near Iraq.
Is it on the coast, Vice?
No. It's near Iraq.
As an American, KK, as an American, I'm okay with this. Let's bomb this shit out of the infrastructures and get out without having a single Look at the chat. See how entitled these fucking people are. If we free them, I promise you guys, they will be back under another dictatorship with no time. Like, it is a waste of time, money, American lives, and I don't even understand why these Iranian fucking bitches think that Americans have any obligation to fucking freedom. These people don't even deserve freedom.
Wow. You don't have any idea what you say. Teach them to speak.
I actually agree with her.
Yeah, this is.
You have no right to speak on behalf of 91 million of Iranians. Then you are not one of.
Peter, I'm not talking for Iranians.
questioning, making the position of United States. United States has its own president.
Actually,
You are nobody. Fuck off.
I vote, I pay tax, and I fucking demand
The voters chose President
get
Trump.
out of these fuckers and leave.
Vote chose President Trump. Now is
Over you, who's gonna fuck up in another way? So why should go fucking free to your own country? It is my business, Peter. You're the one who doesn't get to vote about this attack. If America should do this or not. I actually have a fucking vote here. You don't.
we have started this war by our own. We will finish it by our own.
Iranian,
In the middle, there is USA. In the middle of our start and our end is the States. We have started, we will finish it. You are nobody.
Then go
I'm talking about Sarah, not United
You're gonna
States.
finish it all the way.
You don't tell me what to do. I do what I want.
Are you gonna finish it all the way from Germany? Are you gonna finish it with your
none of your
drones?
business.
Are you gonna
None of
finish
your
it with your
business.
drones, or do you mean you're gonna fucking jerk it off and finish it?
If you are not in our position, we don't explain ourselves to you.
No, but she's right. She's dead on right.
Let's be nice. Let's be nice.
I am being nice, David. They're
She is
constantly
not one
fucking
of us.
bitching on
She
us.
is not one of us.
This other one, she's been like talking shit for 4 hours in the chat because Viking said something that she didn't like to hear. What the fuck, man? He's a vet. He served his country. He doesn't want to see our soldiers abroad being killed if he doesn't believe that's our fight to fight. And you think that you can be sitting here for 5 hours talking shit? That, like, what? He has an obligation to support American soldiers die for Iranian people's freedom? I'm fucking Iranian. My parents are Iranian, and I don't give a fuck. I don't want to see single American soldiers. I don't want to see a single American
One moment you're Iranian, and
One
another
moment you're Iranian, one moment you're not. That's crazy.
You switch nationality too fast.
Exactly. Viking was very rude to me, and I answered him. If we talk about freedom of speech, and if he is allowed, he's talking about
Viking, you should apologize. He should apologize.
works in government.
You're right. The I ran to Canada crowd is really upset because you know what they said that Americans should go fight and we should go pay and we should go do this and they want to tell us how we need to fight this war and we want to tell us how that we should do this and then we should do that. And then they want to fucking brag about how proud the Iranian people are. But notice this. There is forced conscription in the Iranian military. You are forced to go join the service. They tell us 90 to 95% of the Iranians in Iran hate the IRGC. So you mean to tell me a country of what, 90 million people can't take out, what, 650,000? You can't do that. And majority of you have military training, which means you have access to military supplies, which means at some point in the 50 years, you could have had your fucking Revolutionary War, but you didn't. So now the U.S. is there, and now you're fucking flying to Canada and telling us that we have to sacrifice our sons and daughters, all for you twat waffles that want to sit there and say, yes, America, go get your kids killed, go fight in this war,
No
because
one
we
is
won't
saying
fight.
you should sacrifice your sons and daughters. Your president decided to go do this. So don't.
No, my president is just taking in ensuring that we have the straits. You don't get that. We don't care about your freedom. You came in here asking for freedom, and I'm telling you, I don't give a shit if you do. Slave with the government. I don't care.
I didn't ask.
Somebody has to stop me, Ron. So if it's not the United States, who's going to do it?
Israel.
Oh, they can't do it
Our
alone.
president, has not decided to go in war and kill Americans for you guys. He's actually he's hitting the infrastructures, put Iran 50 years behind because his people are pussies bitching on Clubhouse and whining to Americans and calling them names because they don't think they should be fighting this war.
The Gulf states should be joining in. All right, let's calm down. Let's calm down.
Say more about what you just said there. The Gulf states, please go further on that.
Yeah, the Gulf states should be joining in. I mean, they're getting the benefits from this.
Yeah, I agree. Like Bahrain and UAE and Qatar, yeah,
And Saudi Arabia. I mean, they're the principal benefits of this.
Yeah. Like go to that. If you ask somebody from Bahrain.
Anybody disagree with that?
Well, if you read the official statements from these governments, they've been very consistently condemning Iran for its attacks, and they're very not critical of the United States. So that should tell you something. They should be in there. This war could be over very quickly if they would get involved.
That's an opinion.
Peter,
No, it's a fact.
Peter, why don't the Gulf states?
That's an opinion.
David, shut the fuck up. What do you think Peter? What do you think that the states, the Gulf states, should be able to get involved in this? You sound like they shouldn't have any involvement. Or what's the story, man?
Sorry, the involvement of United States inside Iran. My idea.
Gulf states, not United
Okay,
States.
I think that if they are under direction of the United States, it is fine by us because they are United States. They without United States, they are as big as small cities of Iran. We see them as land of United States. If they move, their move is described by me as the move of United States. I don't see them, don't blame them.
Why does this guy sound like that character off of the Pirates of the Caribbean movie?
Well, I mean, to the person who challenged me, I'll rephrase it to make it clear. If the Gulf states were joined in, the war would go much faster. There'd be a lot of resources when they're close by.
But with all due respect, maybe you should ask the Gulf states to engage in that way.
That's why I'm suggesting that they should do it.
I have a quick question. This room is about Trump.
With all due respect, maybe you should ask them.
Hold on, go ahead.
Yeah, I have a question. This room is about Trump, Iran, America. What is a white liberal guy named David from Canada? What do you want? What is exactly?
Hey, you leave him alone. He's not from Canada. He's from New York.
He's from New York.
He's from Jersey, get it right.
And he does have an Ivy League degree.
He just doesn't use it. But he drinks a lot.
And he's got a nice
Princeton.
It's Penn. He's
Definitely not Princeton.
And he's got a nice 2001 Space Odyssey photos.
I actually have an Audi. Is that good?
Drinks himself to sleep.
And he's a very sweet guy.
Why do I still see Iranian mosquitoes in the room?
Oh shit, mosquitoes?
You don't have your bug spray ready to go?
I think Ashton's still here. He got called a mosquito the other night. The dude's like 6'3". It's hilarious. Bima, how's the non-aggression principle going right now?
Mosquitoes.
Non-aggression principle can't be applied to collectives because you can't all agree to something, right? It just doesn't work that way. So a misapplication of the NEP. But I have a question.
Mosquitoes is not a good name because.
1 second. I mean, let's give the credit to mosquitoes, but I love mosquitoes too. Listen. What was I gonna say? Oh. Can someone educate me, the uneducated, ignorant Bima? Can someone tell me why did Iran's proxies, whoever, I don't know who it was, maybe Hezbollah or something like that, right? Why did they attack U.S. soldiers in Beirut?
Which time?
Whichever time was being quoted earlier.
There's several attacks on U.S. soldiers in Beirut. There was to the embassy as well as the barracks, as well as then
What year was that?
Also
In
hundreds and
1983,
hundreds in Saudi.
or what?
So the first attack, if you want me to get the exact dates, the first attack I believe was 83, and then there was another attack.
Correct.
Let's see, the second attack might have been 84, and then they attacked in Saudi Arabia the U.S. embassy. Was it the embassy or the Kitover Towers? What year was that? Let me try to get you the year for that one as well. All right, here we go. 83 was the Beirut barracks, 241 service members, and 58 French paratroopers were killed. Then in 83, they attacked the embassy bombing, and 63 people were killed, 17 Americans. And then in 84, the embassy annex bombing in Lebanon, 24 people were killed. That was a Trump, they're good with truck bombings. They like to do that. Then they went down to Buenos Aires and attacked an embassy there in 92. And then also in 94 in Buenos Aires, that was 85 people were killed. The Kitover Towers was 1996 in Saudi Arabia, 498 wounded, 19 U.S. Air Force personnel killed. Let me see if that was a truck bombing also. Truck bomb again. Then they assassinated, do you want me to keep going? Because I got lots of them. They assassinated, someone help me because I mispronounce sometimes Hariri, who was at the time, in his assassination, he was the prime minister of Lebanon. They also killed 22 people. And that, by the way, guess how they did it? Car bomb. Then in Bulgaria, a bus bombing. That was in 2012. There was a plot thwarted in 2012 in Cyprus. Also, they arrested the Hezbollah member planning an attack there. Another in Thailand, 2012. They found another Hezbollah operative. They stopped the attack. And we can go on in Latin America as well, in the various cells that have been, thank God for good law enforcement, both Interpol as well as U.S. and I didn't even get into all the Israeli attacks that they were thwarted also by good smart intelligence and law enforcement. But that's just a few. I have a pretty long list if you want all of this.
And to add to Abby's long list, like when she mentions 1983, there were actually attacks on 8 separate dates in 1983 where U.S. Military personnel were wounded, and one in 1994.
But it was Hezbollah.
Now, do you want the other proxies or just Hezbollah? Do you want to go through the Houthis? I mean, what proxy are you interested in?
Any attacks on U.S. I guess that's what we.
Do you want the airplane attacks? Do you want those or?
Sure. Is that in 79?
Okay, we've got a bunch of airplane attacks.
But Abby, can we get Brad Viking to read these off to Bima?
Breaking news! Breaking news! Breaking news! I don't know how true this is, guys. I don't know how true this is, but it sounds like it's possible they've taken out Galibaf. I told you, motherfuckers, if they say stuff like this, somebody big is gonna go down. Every time Trump says something crazy negotiating, they get few of those motherfuckers because they start freaking out. They start making phone calls. They find them under the ground.
Okay, I just want to add, I have the hijacking of a Kuwaiti Airlines, 4 killed, and then I have the hijacking of a U.S.
Kuwait
Airlines in 1985. 4 people were killed, and then a TWA, which last I checked was an American company. I used to love them. I wish they still flew. And that was it from Athens, TWA Flight 847 that they hijacked. The abduction and killing of 3 Lebanese, these are Jews that were in Lebanon, murder of Saudi diplomats, suspected murder of the Secretary of Saudi Arabia in Bangkok.
Are we talking
it's a pretty long list.
We're talking about Iran's
proxies.
Right, but on U.S., right?
Yeah, you wanted U.S. So TWA is a U.S. It got merged into American Airlines.
Okay, but you said Saudi diplomats were murdered.
They also had on U.S. soil a plot that got stopped against the Saudi ambassador in a restaurant in Washington, D.C. So does that count as America because it was a plot to assassinate him on American soil? Well, how would you count that one?
Yeah, no, I wouldn't count that as an attack.
You would not. And how about the plot against the U.S., the ambassador from Israel to the U.S., also in Washington? Does that count as an attack on U.S. soil? Or it doesn't? But he was originally American. He was born in New Jersey. He's from West Orange, New Jersey. So is that not American because he was serving as an Israeli ambassador, even though it was a thwarted attack on U.S. soil in Washington, D.C.? Like, how do you want to call that?
Yeah, so no, I'd actually refer to I like to refer to a professional in the room, and if this person would be so inclined to...
I'm busy right now. I'm just going to let the other professional handle it. Abby, go ahead.
Abby, did you include the...
I have such a long list. You know what, Beaver? I'm going to send you the list.
Wait a second.
And Beaver can go through the list.
First of all, Beaver, fuck you for taking my joke, okay? Because I was going to refer to Abby, okay?
Wow.
All right, so I'm pissed at you. But I actually was going to hate you fucking bad.
That's not nice. That's not nice.
Refer to the... we'll get over it. So I was going to refer to Abby. Abby, could you tell us if there is
I have more airplane bombings if you want.
Did you include the defined TWA list?
We need to
You know, Abby, you don't have to answer her question. You don't have to answer her question.
David, I protected you. I take it back. You have just...
With all due respect.
Your protection plan has been canceled.
With all due respect, David, it's too bad when
Shoot him.
Okay.
Okay, first of all, you can't say that. That's a threat. You can't say that.
That's your protection plan. Your BEMA protection plan has been.
No, but that's because it's terms of service. You can't say that.
Oh well, I'm going to need a receipt for that.
Shoot him.
Another murder of an American. Suspected murder of an American officer and high-ranking Turkish officer.
Yeah, I'd like to refer to a professional. Abby, would you be able to clarify for me if there is a particular individual on U.S. soil and another country as that individual? How does U.S. qualify that?
Yeah, Abby, you don't have to answer that.
That would be a murder.
Abby, to refer to
that would be a murder.
She doesn't have to answer that.
No. This is easy. That would be a murder.
Okay.
If they killed someone in the United States, is it happening in like the state of Virginia, the state of Maryland? Is it happening in Washington, D.C., which is governed under federal law? What jurisdiction is it happening in?
We'll say D.C. and we're going to say that they're diplomats of other countries, maybe a president.
It's a murder. It's a murder.
Okay.
How dare you?
She's trying to sneak in another incident in another country.
So it was a scenario that she was asking me about, and I didn't know the answer, so I'm asking her about it, so we could clarify it.
What do we have with foreign... hold on one sec. What was it with foreign diplomats? Kid or someone that had diplomatic immunity that committed murder?
Yeah.
No. I'm talking about on U.S. soil. There was the son of a diplomat. Was that New York?
Yeah, New York.
Yeah, my friend was friends with the person that did that.
What was the disposition? What happened with him? Remember?
I think he went to Leavenworth, if I remember right.
So there's precedent. You could probably... I can't remember. It's like fleeting in my head, but there was a situation of someone with diplomatic immunity that committed on U.S. soil.
Okay, so do you think...
But these are people... But that's not what this is. This is someone on U.S. soil that, whether they're a diplomat from another nation or they're you or me, they're being murdered on U.S. soil. It's murder.
Right, but they're not U.S. They're not a U.S. citizen.
Doesn't matter. That non-U.S. citizens have been killed on U.S. soil.
I understand that.
It's the beginning of...
That's that. Right, but that's not
true.
that's not what I'm saying. I'm saying like there are people from other countries that come here and commit murder, and we don't attribute it to the entire
Yeah, well,
country.
there's
If
a
a
lot of
terrorist
things
organization
like
and committed murder, right, in our country, are we going to attribute that to? But it's not a target.
Wait, what are you asking? Be specific in your question. Sorry, Bima. Like, can you rephrase it more?
So if the target on U.S. soil is not a U.S. citizen, okay, and they're a foreign citizen, the president of some country comes to the U.S., is on U.S. soil, and then a terrorist organization kills that president, is that considered an attack against the U.S.? Like, is the U.S.
I don't follow.
Is it a violation of some sort of like international law?
Who's getting killed? Someone is murdered on U.S. soil.
Right.
If someone is murdered on U.S. soil, whoever murdered them has committed murder. If they did it in the state of Pennsylvania or Maryland or California, they'd be subject to the laws of that state.
Right,
and if it's a death penalty state, they're going to go down. If it's a federal murder, then they're subject, and we have the death penalty in our federal system as well. So, like, what part murder doesn't add up? I'm confused what you're
asking. What I'm trying to find out is the United States, how we legally process it or look at a particular case where a terrorist organization comes and kills somebody else on our soil, a diplomat on our soil. Is that considered? Do we then attack that terrorist organization's country? Are we going to war with that country? Are we like, how does that happen?
Depending on which group. I'll say answer that question if you want to.
But, I think this is
Lots of people can answer that. Saying that, David.
Abby, to answer your question about the diplomat, were you referring to the 1985 killing by any chance?
I don't remember when it was. I just feel like it was someone with diplomatic immunity.
It was the son
of somebody.
It was the son of a German diplomat.
There was a friend of...
Okay, shut the fuck up, David. Now, when it comes to...
Do you want the details or you don't want the details?
No. I can give an answer.
David, shut up. So, all right, look, I think this is obnoxious. I get it. Like with Hezbollah, they did things. If they killed a foreign actor, or a person that's part of a foreign. All right, you're going to the audience because you just don't shut the fuck up, bro. God damn. You get people that, and I'll tie it back. You get people who kill. Let's just say they kill an Israeli on French soil or U.S. soil. Do I see that as an attack on America? Absolutely not. They committed a crime in the United States, and they'll be held accountable for it, obviously. But who are they targeting? Not American. And I would even go as far as to say people will say Americans were killed on October 7th. Sure, but that's not who they're trying to attack. They thought they were attacking a bunch of Jews in Israel.
They attacked Americans, Pepe, but the fact that
was not their intent.
It doesn't matter what their intent was. The fact was that they intent was to kill, and they killed Americans, Thai nationals. I mean, it can go to the Brits. Obviously, we know a Brit that was killed.
It wasn't just Jews they wanted to kill. They wanted to kill Israelis.
Yes, it's a big difference.
Sure, that's fine.
And a lot of the Israelis were not Jews, especially, as I said, what was it, they took 19 Thai nationals hostage. I mean, it was, in many countries. And they knew they were Thai nationals. They knew who they were, and they held them hostage. So the intent was to cause mayhem to people that were on that soil.
And they beheaded one on camera.
Yeah.
But as far as, I saw that video. It was pretty wicked. Now, I do look at...
Hold on one sec, Bibi. Where was the girl from Shani? Was it Shani Luke? Who was the girl? Was she German? That they took her body and had her body on the back of the truck?
With the blood in between her legs.
Yeah. Was she German? I feel like she was a German or Swedish. I can't remember now. She was not Israeli.
Well,
several.
I mean, that wrong place at the wrong time. And yeah, they're terrorists. I get it. I think Hezbollah is especially willing to kill Okay, the only country I can really think of where they will kill indiscriminately is in Israel. I don't really see them doing that. They are pretty deliberate.
But whoa. I mean, let's look at the attacks here on U.S. soil and issues we've had either at, let's see, was it LAX, when they went into the El Al terminal. So yeah, by the way, people going to Israel are Christians and Jews that get on that airplane. But we have had attacks from foreign nationals against foreigners on U.S. soil. They've still committed terrorism and murder in the United States. Their act was to, look at the definition of terrorism. So they get convicted under U.S. Code 182331, and you can read that because it's terrorism and it's a federal crime. So
I said we get prosecuted here, obviously.
Right. And now, if you're asking, do we go to BEMA took it to the next level? Do we declare war? I think that's what BEMA was asking.
Yeah, okay. But that's the part that the people like me. No, first of all, there's another group of people that would go on foreign soil, and they still do it to this day. It's caught on video. They go into places like Argentina, Sweden. They kidnap people, bring them across countries' lines. They go into the Dubai, and they go up to somebody's hotel room and they snuff them.
But like,
and then
ISIS plots. How many ISIS plots? We just stopped one here in my state, like not that long ago, an ISIS plot.
Sure, but which
did they catch them in Canada? A bunch of them in Canada.
Which country sends their
Some
literal?
were Syrian. At that time, Syria has changed, but at the time it wasn't.
But does Israel not send Mossad into different countries to kill people?
They do not operate in the United States, by the way. That's a pact that they
I didn't say the Mossad does it here, but do the Israelis go into foreign countries and kill people?
We do that. How did we take out Che Guevara? You remember that story? We did that.
That's fine.
Where did we go? Bolivia? We took him out.
Bolivia
with
they killed him at a high school. It was fun.
Yeah. But I mean, like, if you're asking if a presidential person is killed by a lone gunman or something, welcome to World War I, a fucking war. So yes, it's dependent on the nation that its leader kills, whether or not they'll declare war. If somebody killed Trump, if like Iran, one of these Canadian Iranaways, came down and killed President Trump, then I would ask this, you know what? The hell with this. Canada would have to really bend the knee even more than they do.
Well,
and they would have to purge all the Iranians out there. They would be on the first boat out.
Well, I mean, I could picture a scene where, let's say, a big president, let's say a lot of you might not like him, President Macron, say he was here and, an agent, say he was approving, I don't know, just from some country. And when he was leaving on his motorcade, a bunch of people ambushed it, which I don't think could really happen with our Secret Service. But let's say he committed a horrific terrorist attack and killed the French Prime Minister. I could picture, depending on who it was that was behind it, that would orchestrate such a brazen attack on our soil. I would think where military probably would get involved, because that would be such an over-the-top thing to do in our country. Killing, I don't know that we would go to war.
Well, think about this. There was unconfirmed to this day, there's a rumor, speculation that Gorbachev had threats on U.S., although it's not confirmed anywhere. But could you imagine what would have happened if Gorbachev had been killed on U.S. soil by, I don't know, let's say, who at the time hated Russia? A Polish national. Could you imagine that occurring, and what would have actually been the fate of the world? We would have went to war. We would have had to go to war, because Russia would have launched, they would have attacked Poland, they would have done this, they would have attacked other ones. France would have fucking got their dander in the rough and went over there to try to help Poland, and it would suck in immediately, and Russia would probably have blamed the U.S. of having some part in it. So yeah, it just depends on the nations. But we had this
the U.S. would most likely take some action depending on the circumstances, but definitely a retaliatory strike or something similar.
I don't see how we don't, Pepe, if it happened on our soil. I don't see how we don't.
But if you go down, let's go down from a prime minister to, let's say,
it doesn't
matter who it is. Let's say it was an ambassador.
happened. I gave the example. I started my example from the Saudi ambassador. He's a great ambassador they had here. He now serves as their foreign minister. And he was in a restaurant in Georgetown. And there was an attempt to kill him. And it was Iranian plot to kill him. So that's a Saudi.
So do you have a Ukrainian ambassador, for example?
Wait, you can take the Pope's example. Pepe, take Pope John Paul II's example when he was attacking St. Petersburg.
The assassination attempt on President Trump by mullahs. The assassination attempt attempted by mullahs on President Trump.
I would say this. I don't know that the Pope would cause that much of a crisis. Hold on a second. Could you leave the phone? Okay, thank you. But when it comes to the Vatican, though, I think that would probably get diffused because the next Pope in line in the Vatican would urge nobody to strike back, because that's kind of like what they do. If I'm being fair.
No, the U.S. is going to strike regardless of what the Vatican wants, because it's a violation of U.S. territory.
If it's a state actor, sure.
Yeah.
But
if it's a terrorist group, then
sure. Let me ask you this question.
I'm putting it in the chat.
Let me ask the question.
They were convicted in New York.
Yeah, they tried to kill.
No, that's fine. Killed a Saudi. But the one just to answer your question, and I'll put it in the chat. The two were convicted in New York in federal court. It was in 2011 for trying to kill Jabbar.
I don't think anybody here is advocating that if you get caught doing terrorism, that the people caught doing terrorism don't face charges like that. That's an obvious and a given. But let's say there was like a Ukrainian ambassador or a Russian ambassador. Obviously, those two countries are already at war. What do you think we would do if a Russian ambassador was killed by a Ukrainian or vice versa?
On our soil? We would probably condemn it, and then we wouldn't actively get involved, but we would brace for retaliation or watch Russia very closely. We would call up, and we would probably go to a high alert status because we would be waiting for Russia's response on that.
What would we do if it was a Chechen that did it to a Russian ambassador?
In Chechen, we would be like, oh, here you go, here's a guy. Here's a country that did it. It's kind of like what happened with the Pope. Like, that guy went to Italian prison for life, and then the Pope passed on him. But they never went further and talked about the Bulgarian connection that was with him. And so nobody wanted to start a war with Bulgaria or go into Bulgaria at that time because it was just too much on the table between peace talks and conflicts around the world that Bulgaria would just add to a problem that we didn't need. So I think the U.S. is just like, here you go, we'll give you assets, we'll protect the Vatican, we'll do flyovers, we'll ensure anything's there, and here's all our intel. And the Italian authorities blocked and beat that guy up for the rest of his life, for as far as I knew.
I feel like there's you guys, and I'm not, I get it. I'm not saying they aren't a threat to the U.S. They're definitely going to be a threat to any of our government or military personnel or anybody that's attached to them in the Middle East and regions where they have interest in, such as Lebanon, such as Iraq. We know that. But do I think that do we consider them like a broader terrorism threat beyond that to the United States? If they have a nuke, I don't think they'd ever dare launch it to the U.S. because, that's just my opinion, but I do think they're absolutely a existential threat to the Jews or Israel. Look at Hamas. We can look at Hezbollah. We can look at who's been rocketing, even sending the rockets from Iran. We can look at the Houthis. We get that. But to sell it to Americans us everyday Americans, we find them to be some kind of imminent or existential threat, anything but. They're not a
Hola gente bonita, me pueden ayudar siguiendo esta cuenta, por favor. Se los agradecería mucho. Saben que
I don't know, larger countries with if China, maybe some other large countries wanted to join them and they're very hostile towards us. I would say that's definitely an existential threat to us. But Iran, these are just
So some people say a month is worse than
like I said way earlier, the threat is not necessarily Iran launching a nuclear missile. Like, as soon as they push the button, they know that it's over. Three-quarter is, and this is the scary part, is the dirty bomb applications that they most definitely would employ. They would absolutely do this. They would do it in the continent of Africa in a variety of nations. They would definitely, Israel would be a fucking target. Saudi Arabia would be a target. Europe, like, fuck, they can't even keep them out. And that would absolutely go on.
You're bullshitting.
Do you think they would target, I'm just curious, do you think they would target Europe, though? Because I don't, once again...
They have. They have
what did they
supported
target Europe?
Well, they have supported terror attacks. Subway cars, the fucking music when they, what was that shooting? That was
some people say
they've done it in
That was ISIS.
The problem with Iran is they're still.
No, do you know who the biggest enemies of ISIS were? And they killed each other on site in brutal fashion. Yeah. And whenever the Shia militias ran across ISIS and they got the better of them, they were going to slit their fucking throats.
But they also attacked us.
Both of them attacked us. Both of them attacked us.
613 deaths by Iran alone. So, Jack Sparrow, go back down to wherever you're from.
I'm not. It's okay. I'm not saying it's okay. That service members lost their lives to the Shia militias. It's my understanding when you had that civil war in Iraq. Okay, we know who was training and supplying and funding a lot of the Shia militias in Iraq. Both sides were not fond of the United States. The U.S. was fighting both of them. That was the context of their fighting. Iran, of course, pretty fucked up. They were sending rockets that killed some people, gave a lot of U.S. troops traumatic brain injuries. Yes, absolutely nasty pieces of shit. I'm not downplaying what they did. And then, of course, Lebanon in the 80s. Outside of the context of us meddling in their regional interests, I don't really see them as a threat to the U.S.
They're a threat to the U.S. because they possess a nuclear weapon. It destabilizes.
It isn't about nuclear weapons.
It is about Iran.
Which nuclear weapon facilities are we destroying?
The power plants at the Fodro, where they produced over 400 kilograms of 60% enriched uranium.
But I thought Trump has
been very clear that this war was tied to the negotiations to get Iran to stop doing centrifuges. He said it specifically. Well, whatever.
That's their biggest problem.
At any point,
clear story.
At any point, he has been clear that is a threat, and certainly that is a threat, even if he hasn't said it. And it's a threat to the region, and it's a threat to the world.
But that's not what the media, even the media dropped that one at this time.
That's fine, but you want the real world threat, or you want what the media is talking about? Okay. The real threat is Iran. Iran cannot be allowed to develop a nuclear weapon, full stop. They cannot be allowed to do that.
Wow.
We agree. No, everybody agrees with that. But it was not because of a nuclear threat that we decided this time.
Absolutely.
We had to go.
That was the reason. Trump said it was the reason. It was tied to these negotiations. When the negotiations broke down, that's when they launched the attacks. This specific attack was tied to the failure of the negotiations.
He gave many fucking excuses for why he invaded Iran.
No, that was the reason for the attack. The secondary.
There's a bunch of reasons given for the attack.
No, that is no. You're talking about a secondary interest. There's a secondary interest which is overturning the regime. That is not the primary target, and Trump has been clear about that. They are hopeful
that's not
that
the primary one they're
down.
going with even today.
That is
they
not
try to do
reason.
no, and not even close. I mean, they were going with especially the first couple of days, and they're kind of leaning back more into it, is that, you know, they could have some kind of intercontinental ballistic missile, whether or not it will have a nuclear.
He has been very clear that the only reason why that they would pursue overturning the regime is because he doesn't believe that this current regime will ever commit to not developing a nuclear weapon. Everything is revolving around the nuclear threat.
I've only been hearing how that's largely been debunked everywhere in the media. So I don't know what to say, dude.
But it's hard to
You're not listening to what the administration is saying.
People have secondary interests, bro.
Hold on. Since when you trust the media, Pepe?
Okay, but there's no credible.
Which media? CNN?
CNN's been. I think is Barry Weiss already running that bitch now? Is it?
Not yet. Did that go through?
I thought it went through. I could be wrong. So I mean,
so Pepe. So take this. They're at what, 60%? Let's say on the safe side.
I'm well aware of the 60%.
Okay, so we're all in agreement they're at 60%. That's weapons grade. That's
and over 400 kilograms. This is a very significant amount.
Okay, yeah. So we all agree that they're at 60%, 400 kilograms. Great. We're all in agreement on that. So if you're going with the prolonged attacks, if you're looking at the history of the U.S., yes, we caused the problem in the first place, but oh well, fuck it, it's 50 years ago. But now the new problem is that they have been ranching up terror attacks. They have, like, you may not like it, but they have threatened allies. They have attacked allies, and they've attacked our own ships. So when you have Trump, who, yeah, maybe he's not articulate enough on the answers, but plenty of presidents have been trying to do various things with Iran, including dealing with the fact that they do attack on the seas, they do attack our own ships, and even Biden was fucking frustrated to the point where he was like, fuck the JCPOA reinstatements, because he was getting pissed off at it, especially when he was going down in polling after the Navy attacks started. So, like, I mean, at some point, this was going to happen, and the idea of leaving that material in the hands for further development and research capabilities on Iran is a bit absurd. But the other thing is, we don't really necessarily need a reason, because they've already attacked our own U.S. military ships, they attacked our Navy, and they attack our civilian. And not just ours, they've attacked others. Like, I agree with you, we should have the Middle East in, but they've already Iran's already crossed the line where we could act.
They're our enemy. They made it clear. But I guess, all right,
and Pepe, we haven't even talked about all the cyber attacks. We talked about it a little before.
That's just modern. But that's
no. But we talked about, as I mentioned it before, but there's other than the bomb and shooting attacks, there's other ways to attack our nation, which they've been doing.
Yeah, they absolutely hack. Yeah, if you go on the FBI's most wanted, they have a section just for cyber criminals. You can see a bunch of Chinese, Russian, and Ukrainian, Iranians on there. Most of them work for their version of the NSA, and I totally agree.
It's one of the worst world nations on the planet.
Yes, the IRG fucking sucks. They're bad. They're horrible people. I wish, if I could snap my fingers right now and the IRGC falls, the people take control, and Trump and Netanyahu can declare their big fucking victory, that would be amazing. That means everybody, we fought the good fight. It was all worth it. This is not what that is about. We all agree that Iran should never have a fucking nuke, and that the IRGC are horrible, and they're terrorists.
Yeah, we're all in agreement.
Yes. Now, with that 460 kilograms of the 60% enriched uranium, now it's my understanding after a previous strike in June, is it like buried under a bunch of fucking rubble or something like that, and now you don't want them to get access to it?
The IAEA has said that it's not sufficiently significally damaged, so there's still a significant risk.
So this is my question.
We're also aware that there was even reporting that they actually moved and had backup locations where they shifted some of the research and some of the materials. It's a lot, and we're continuing research there, and I believe I don't know. It's really hard to tell with Iran because, they told the talks, we're going to continue developing the nuke. Okay, no one wants you to have it. well, too bad, we're going to do it anyway. Well, all right, you got to stand on it and try to hold their bluff.
But this is my question.
That's the biggest problem is that they.
Yes, I get that. That's the biggest problem. Now, but here's the other problem. Is all right. We killed Khomeini. We've cleansed the country of a lot of their mullahs that deem who's appropriate to elect. We've killed so many of them.
Well, I'm gonna say the Israelis, and it was a woman pilot that took him out. I just want to say that.
Amazing.
So really,
shalom to her.
well, she was the Queen of Esther today. That was very cool.
Nice. Now okay, so the end of the problem is that they still are basically they functionally have control. They're still launching attacks. Now we can keep on knocking them out primarily by air, but then eventually the question is like, okay, do we send ground troops? What is going to be the cost of that in terms of lives primarily? But how far do we have to go to stop them from doing something with that 460 kilometers?
We have to do whatever it takes. This is the problem. People want a solution in 4 weeks' time. It doesn't work that way.
They're going to get nukes eventually.
Well, we have to do whatever we can to stop them.
Pakistan.
You have to take out the delivery method too, guys.
The idea that we're supposed to go and do all this just so they don't get nukes, it's going to happen eventually, guys.
Well, Pakistan hold on. Pakistan got its nukes by theft. That's.
Oh, so you're gonna conflate all Jews in America with Israel? Oh, so you're gonna conflate all Jews in America with Israel? I don't know. I mean, but if you're saying that, then in other words, we can't trust Jewish Americans because. Okay, then sure, we get that, but then if you're a Jewish American. If a Jewish American invents anything, that should give Israel the right to something. Therefore, all Jews are basically they're double citizens. They have.
If somebody committed espionage, they should be charged and convicted with espionage. This is not geopolitics. You're talking about a crime.
You're talking about nuclear secrets that were stolen. And God only knows.
If it's the case, then the person should be charged with espionage. Well, then charge the person with espionage.
Or the state. How about the state?
No one's disagreeing that if someone stole secrets from the United States, but I mean, who was it? When did it happen? What do you know about?
Well, I mean, we can look at what is his name? Paul.
No, but he didn't steal. I mean, he was like
lower
level stuff, and he was convicted. He was convicted, right? And no one's arguing about that.
Sure, but what I would question is this, though. What I would question is this, because this is where the optics look bad for Zionist Americans, is that. Okay, he went back to Israel. I'm not going to fault Netanyahu with this because he cares about questioning.
Pakistan
has got to get your head around that. It's moral. The delivery methods can already. We just learned the delivery method can hit Europe. We just learned that. They made it clear.
Just hitting the Middle East is sufficient to start a World War III.
To be fair, they don't know the origin of the
So hitting Saudi, who's an ally, and hitting UAE that are
hitting all over the Middle East could literally trigger World War III.
It's not the same thing after you start. Okay, look. You have a monkey in a cage. You hit it and it spazzes out and throws rocks and spits on everybody. That's what they did. We struck them.
Look,
they have primitive technology. They lob rockets and drones everywhere. That's what we thought.
Anyone that thinks that Iran having a nuclear weapon doesn't pose a significant threat.
We all do. We've already said it.
Debating maybe it's not a problem. It's a problem, and so the world needs to stop Iran, whatever it takes, from developing a nuclear weapon. Well, you can disagree, but then you're in a very small minority.
I just have the echo chamber.
So, it would be okay if they had the nuclear weapon and they went after a U.S. base that's in Kuwait. So they take out all of Kuwait because they're going after the base in Kuwait. That's okay?
Iran, even without a nuclear weapon as a major threat to and destabilize. That's without a nuclear weapon. Just ballistic weapons and its proxies. It's causing havoc throughout the Middle East. Now imagine that they're 100 times more powerful because now they have a nuclear weapon. I mean, it's just crazy.
You're stuck in the
Let Jack say something. He's been trying to talk.
I think a lot of you are either stuck in the Iranian people's and the Israeli point of view, and you lack objectivity. Now, I don't mind if you think they are a threat or they're not a threat, but like you saying, like it doesn't matter. It's okay. Israel has them.
How is Iran not a threat?
Israel has actually threatened to.
No, explain how Iran is not a threat.
Bro, hey, don't tell me what to do.
Well, you're the one claiming it's not.
No, hold on. Let him explain it. Well, okay, he can answer that too. Just let him.
Don't fucking tell me what to say.
Well, if you're gonna make a claim, yes.
Holy shit. Israel actually threatened 2 different countries in the Middle East. To nuclear.
Israel never
Oh my god.
Who did they threaten, Jonathan, when?
Cairo and Damascus. 2 major cities. One in Egypt, one in Syria.
But when were these threats made? When were they specifically made?
During the 70s and 67 war. So Iran.
Wait, when did Israel get nuclear capability?
Why don't you look that up? Why do you
Well, you're saying in 67, which was the 6-day war, they didn't need nuclear weapons to win the 6-day war.
Just look it up if you want the exact facts. I know this is
part of a war that's trying to slow threat.
Bro, guys, hold on. Just let Jack finish.
Holy fuck. Like, these tactics are so cringe. Anyway, Iran being a threat, it's mutually assured destruction. You think they're gonna go drop a nuke or do a dirty bomb somewhere, and you don't think they're going to face the same repercussions? Sure, it'll make them a threat in the sense that, you know, they can't just go invade them or fucking flip around their regime like we're trying to do or we've tried to do in the past. It won't make it as easy. Same shit with North Korea. That guy's a fucking psychopath.
By the way, you're right. They got it in 67, Jack, and they got it with the help of the French. It was the French who assisted them in developing it.
It was also the South Africans. You guys were setting off. What is it? It was like when the detectors for
I'm an American, Pepe, so you keep saying you guys. I don't know if there are any Israelis.
Yeah, it's very offensive you keep saying you guys.
Okay, my bad. It's because. Okay, obviously you guys are Zionists, so my bad.
I support the state of Israel, but you're talking to me as if I'm a citizen there.
You're an American, Abby. Look at you as an Abby, Mac. Look at you as an American, Abby. Like, I don't think of you as an Israeli.
You guys get just as defensive when we're talking about Israel, or like some IRGC board gets defensive when we're talking about Iran. I fucking tried to have
I just looked it up, Jack.
Questioned. But like, can you save it till I'm finished? I give you guys the same respect. I'll let you finish your sentences. And at the end of the day, like I said, Iran having a nuclear weapon, I in my mind is inevitable. It's gonna happen. I don't think they're fucking as reckless as as soon as they get it, it's over for us and it's doomsday and all this shit. I don't think so. It's just gonna make nuclear deterrence one of their main priorities.
I think that this is my other biggest fear. That would be the inevitable outcome if we did not, if we were to attack Iran, because at the end of the day, the overall American support for this war is pretty low. So we don't have the appetite to, I think, do what it would take, like we would have in 2003 when we invaded Iraq, when we were a pretty patriotic country at that point. I don't think we have the appetite to go in and do what it would take. And I think Trump really wants to just get this shit over with quickly. And it's likely going to mean that the IRGC will remain in power, where we can actually take them out of power. You're going to have some Kurds that will come in that maybe to help support the U.S. Like, they're not going to take on 90 million people.
You don't necessarily have to take them out of power. That's just one option amongst.
You think that while they're in power, that after this, you would have to be an insane person.
No.
To not want to get a fucking nuke after this.
There's several possibilities. One is the one that you're talking about, where it's perceived as, well, gee, if we had a nuke, we would have been saved from this. Another way to look at it is, if we hadn't trying to develop nuclear weapons, we wouldn't have been attacked. So it just depends.
Naive. That is so beyond naive.
Okay, who's gonna make it?
That's not
You killed their beloved leaders, and now they're
people want to survive, and people do what they think is in the best interest of themselves and their country. So that can be perceived a lot of different ways.
How would you feel if somebody killed the leaders of your country? Even if they're in the wrong, you're going to end up having a very...
Depends.
Uncheck the country.
Fuck off.
No, I'm talking about the leaders of the IRGC. In other words, the people that come into power after them.
It depends on the extent people blame their leaders for what happened or not. And some people
they don't give a shit about their people.
No, a lot of the people in the country are against the regime and
Obviously.
are with the regime. So that's why and the people that want to have power or want to gain power are cognizant of that. And so that plays a role.
You said they have to make it new. But can I ask you, who's going to make it for them? Do you think IRGC or Islamic Republic, if they had like this ability, they could create a new fucking missile already, okay? They wouldn't hesitate to make it?
I don't think they would have hesitated, but
they don't have any scientists, bro. All of them, they got killed, bro.
Sure.
There's none of them. So who's gonna build it for them?
If they keep this up, they're not going to have any economy. They need an economy.
Kim Jong-un is building it for them.
And the question is, though, is that, and I guess, that is the other thing. There's obviously the Iranians are smart people. In comparison to their neighbors, at least. I would say they're smarter people. And they do. Yeah. Do I think they can find a way around it? Yeah. I mean, realistically, very educated and smart population.
The question is,
I don't know. Like I'm not asking these questions because I want to believe that they'll stay in power.
I understand.
They just go away.
You're great. You're doing a great job of outlining like the downside potential, and you're right about the downside potential. What you're missing is it's in Iran's firm interest, to not develop nuclear weapons and pursue successful economy and join the world's community and not be a nation. That's in their long-term interest. So the key is, hopefully, at some point, to have leaders understand that.
But if I was the IRGC, I'm not talking about the Persians, but if I was IRGC, I was a hardliner, my goal would be to kill many more Jews, fuck the state of Israel, fuck America.
Would you take out the Pope too? Would you take out the Pope?
I don't know why you always think of the Jews. I don't know that Israel is not Jews.
Guys.
Yeah, but I don't think he would take out the Pope, because the Pope has friends with the Pope.
Peter, you're alive, Peter?
I agree with you, Papa, because whoever knows IRGC, they know that these guys don't care about Iran. They don't care about the controls. Even in IRGC, even in IRGC, the IRGC itself, there is no Iran in IRGC. Did you know that? It doesn't. I doesn't stand for Iran. I stand for Islam. IRGC stands for Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps.
That's irrelevant, by the way.
It's not Iranian.
No, but I think he has a point.
Exactly. All they care about is to expand their Islamic Shia ideology, to just go and fight against Israel and to just support their proxies. They don't give a fuck about Iranian people.
100%.
They don't give a fuck about the Iranian resources. They don't give a fuck about what's going to happen to Iran at all.
That's my biggest fear, is they will continue to fucking machine gun their fucking people, torture and kill their fucking people, be the biggest fucking sports star if they have to. They will do it to shut the fucking people up.
Yes.
And their willingness and drive to fucking end Israel, to fucking get a nuke, and then possibly be a lot more violent and become much more of a threat to the United States.
So that's their
as a
biggest
result of this. That's why it's important that you don't just attack these people.
But you nailed it. That's exactly
You have to stop them.
No,
my point is, you don't attack them like this unless you're willing to absolutely get rid of them.
If you don't attack them, they develop the weapon and do everything that you just said. So you have to try to stop them. Now, you make a very good point that if the efforts fail, it might lead to greater catastrophe or the same catastrophe. But the thing is, in the meantime, the country is getting destabilized. Their economy is going to be hurting more and more, and that makes them even less stable.
Okay, so
Trump and
I don't get your point.
Reza Pahlavi would call the people to come out, and
that's a different topic.
You have to be realistic. A lot of people are
to be honest. If this war ends and IRGC stays on power, that's the most, I think, worst outcome that could come out of this war. That's the worst, because then the IRGC gonna declare that they won. They could see US try to topple us, they couldn't, and they're gonna be even more aggressive and more radical than before the war.
It's also embarrassing on the international stage. It shows the bravado of the United States will come in with their very advanced, fighter jets, and we will bomb the shit out of you. There's nothing you can do about it. We dominate the skies, which we absolutely do. But then, we do this shit, which, yes, it'll make most leaders and belligerents absolutely afraid to fuck with the United States. But we didn't have the fortitude to finish the fucking job. And here goes the IRGC just chucking along, still not giving a shit.
Yeah, Pepe, you're identifying the real risk. I mean, it's there. I mean, I think everybody realizes that. What could happen in that scenario where, the U.S. eventually backs down and, they go back to somewhat of the status quo ante, the United States are going to continue to mow the lawn because in 6 months or a year time, 2 years time, they'll do another attack.
Yeah, he's a Jew. What do you think?
It's like a never-ending war.
It is going to end. No worries. There are steps that you don't know.
And I have to ask myself, what was even... my biggest problem with this attack, too, was you had people in America and Israel. Lindsey Graham, for example. I don't know how much I don't think he's a Christian Zionist. I think he's just purely political. You have obviously the Christian Zionists and the Jewish Zionists. You have all kinds of people, what I would consider some of the more hawkish people, that were advocating for us to just get Iran. And I don't think they had, it's okay, we can unleash our military might on them, but what is the detailed plan? I read an interesting article in the New York Times. Of course, they have to use confidential sources because, that's what they do. And these are people that worked in intelligence primarily, both in the United States. And it was interesting because it was showing that, in it even, I guess the Mossad kind of came up with a plan, like, hey, like, let's kind of try to help them spur a revolt in Iran. There was an acronym for it, a different intelligence agency that's it's basically the military intelligence in Israel. That's not the Mossad. And they strongly disagreed with the Mossad, and they said, no, that sounds like silly. I don't think it'll work. America largely split on it. And I don't know. It seems like nobody could really agree on anything, but they decide like they want to attack. And of course, this is just with that part, with the revolt part. But where it's kind of significant is that plan, they thought that they could spur a revolt that would possibly lead to them, actually overtaking the IRGC. Obviously did not happen.
Stop when you're tired. Stop when you're done. So
even after we attacked, what was it? Like, Israel was going to attack first, and we knew that they were going to respond, and so we had to make sure that we were there to stop it. And you hear like, oh, Trump says, oh no, I think we spurred it on. Yeah, no, it was definitely us. They talk about all of this different shit, and it's just like, okay, you guys are like still trying to get together your fucking excuses, and now it's like, what is the end fucking result that you guys even have? It's like, no, you guys just kind of, this is the moment to attack, so we're going to attack, and hopefully it works out.
So there's three main intelligence agencies in Israel, and the one you're thinking of, I think, is online.
Today, I woke up and chose with.
What do you think the IRGC is compared to 2 months ago? I'm not talking about the launchers and drones and stuff. Domestically, people who suppressed Iranian people. How much weaker those besiege an IRGC are weaker compared to 2 months ago that they killed thousands of Iranians today?
Some people say a burp is worse than a.
Well, I guess if you're going to solve the problem, what I don't get, we can talk about nukes all day long, but you have to get out of power the people who want to nuke or build the nukes and use them, and it's starting at this point.
Welcome back to Kitover tonight.
Colorado deserves a leader who listens. We have a question.
No, you're so low.
No. I'm sorry. Can you hear me now?
Yeah.
So my question was, how much weaker do you think IRGC besieged compared to 2 months ago that they killed tens of thousands of Iranian people? I'm not talking about the launchers and they're going to shoot here and there too. Yeah, how much weaker those branches you think are today?
Go home. Obviously, place aside. Personal best.
I don't know. Is it 10% weaker, 50% weaker, 80% weaker?
Well, I think it's more than 50% weaker because I'm talking inside Iran. Almost every town.
You're in Iran right now? You're the one person with no fucking internet service in Iran?
No, I'm not in Iran. I said I'm talking to Iran. What does this mean? What the fuck does...
You're talking to the friends and relatives in Iran.
Shut the fuck up. Guys, vote. If you don't vote, I'm gonna start with your gun.
Yeah.
That's how's everybody doing? Are we giving a good conversation? Got some new voices. Ottawa's new.
Do we have any other crisis we can talk about, Matt? Like, get out of the Middle East? Is there anything happening like in Europe or in the U.S.? Do we have like another political issue we could talk about? What do you think?
I think the poll needs another option that we don't know. Time will tell. But
Whoever came up with this badass thing.
this is what $111,000 right now.
Thank you.
I've always been
Thanks for preventing me from having.
This is what $111,000 can get you as 20% down payment in one of the parking lot. Welcome to your new obsession.
Do we have any scandals in the U.S.? Do we have anything?
Accidentally blowing your mortgage out?
Since we're changing subject, I can tell you that the son of the diplomat that murdered somebody in the U.S. was convicted and spent over 30 years in jail.
That's what I thought. I didn't think you can get immunity for a capital crime.
He was a special case, and he did try diplomatic immunity, but it failed. But another case that was pretty bad was the son of a Saudi diplomat who raped a 16-year-old girl.
Oh no!
And then he boasted about it because he was boasting about his diplomatic immunity, and he did get away with it, and they just sent him back to.
That's what that Sharmuta gets for trying to talk about it, chase clout.
Okay, I like KK's idea. How do you feel about voter ID, everyone?
Feel good about it.
Wait, did you just ask about the scandal and you just forgot about TSA? I'm kind of
Let's
pissed.
go with TSA because I got to fly this week. What are your thoughts?
So here's my thoughts. I'm kind of pissed at TSA. Stop arresting fucking illegal aliens at the airport. They already have their bags packed and a ticket. Just don't let them back in. Let them fly the fuck out. It's a free flight. They paid for it. We can save money on this. I am so pissed at this. Don't arrest them there. Then I gotta house them. I gotta put them in a fucking 6 months of plea bargaining and all this shit. No, let them go and then just block them out. That's what I think we should do. I'm kind of pissed at this stance. I think they should just let those people go and then fucking catch them on the re-entry and just deport them right back. What do you think, Abby?
I think this is the kind of stuff that's really going to get Americans crazy. I don't have a lot of thoughts about our internal security. So.
No, but the big takeaway is that Schumer wanted to defund he wanted to fund TSA and a couple other things, and they left off DHS and Border Patrol, etc. So they're like, oh, it's the Republican shutdown. And it's like, no, idiot, you're still going to own it because you're not funding the fucking bill completely. And they still can't put a clean CR through. So, I mean, I don't know what the Democrats are trying to play at. They're playing this stall game, hoping that this turns on the midterms. Maybe it helps them. I don't know. I still say we come away with the Senate, and I'm still holding true to my 50-50 prediction on the Congress. I don't think the Democrats have a lock-in like they used to.
Here's a question, Brad. Do people in November remember what they paid for gasoline in March? And do they remember in November delays at the airport? Or, those types of issues. I don't know.
All the reasons why Trump's going to end this war early.
Well, maybe not. But the waiting at the airports, it's kind of hurting the Democrats right now. That message isn't going out because they're having to get behind Jeffries and Chucky. And the polling kind of reflects that the state of the country kind of sees that. And now with TSA agents there, helping to kind of go through, I think it's a great optic for the administration saying, listen, the Democrats aren't there. We're grabbing at straws too because the Democrats won't fund it. And so I think, I don't know, the optics are going to cut one way or the other. I also think the gas prices, the unemployment rates, they're not in peril. It's not like the Democrats can't go, look at unemployment, it's still there. Like they're screaming about gas, but gas is still cheap. Like at least it's cheaper than it was under Biden. And so I think a lot of Americans are like, yeah, Trump's doing things. We no longer have the Venezuela problem. That seems to be working itself out. You've got a lot of jobs in the South that are opening up. The investments haven't come there, and the manufacturing index hasn't ticked up, which is what I watch. So he's a little weak on that area. But I think overall, the Democrats, they're going to just run on anything but Trump, and maybe that'll work in key urban areas. But I don't know if they're going to get any power shift or blue wave. And honestly, I think maybe the Republicans eke out a hold in the Congress, and I definitely think they'll hold the Senate. I think they're going to power wave.
But I'm just curious, though, like with Trump, okay, I voted for Trump 3 times. Now, Kamala would be I think it would just be the continuation of the disaster, which was the Biden presidency. Now, do I think that Trump has done a good job? No, not at all. he stopped the bleeding. Bravo. Especially when it comes to people coming into our country or our borders, it was fucking nuts. Under Obama, especially like here in the border states, I agree.
You have all these conversations about what's going on the federal level, but it's so crazy because for me, Americans every day still have to do things every day. Okay, and for me as an American citizen, okay, this is just everywhere. I live in California. I live in a state that's way out of control. We're given access to sanctuary cities and stuff like that, which is absolutely asinine. First of all, it's oxymoronic. They call it people who commit crime, they don't put them in a sanctuary. It just doesn't make sense to Edward because I don't get that. But for me, I just believe there's a lot more issues. And you said one thing about all the sales that are around the United States. I think the governors really need to be the ones focused on their state protection of the people that they're supposed to be representing versus us trying to put everything on one guy who really has a cabinet around him and everything else. It's so crazy. I don't know. But Pepe, you say a whole lot about all the stuff that's going on outside of the country, and I'm just trying to find out what's happening in Arizona.
Sure. So I can agree with you to a large extent, but largely why I'll do this is because I'm talking to people from many different states. So I tend to speak on a national level. Now, what I would say is that where I kind of see things a little bit differently than you is that when it came to, I don't know, for example, us just letting in all of these fucking people. What was really interesting under Biden is we were used to Mexicans coming over our border and KKK back down, moderate up. We're used to Mexicans coming in from our southern border. That they were the majority. Now, what you saw under Biden is and this was always on our local news, and the county sheriffs, the governor, they could do next to nothing about it. We saw Governor Abbott of Texas. It's amazing how I know his name more than Katie Hobbs. Just because Katie Hobbs is kind of irrelevant for the most part in Arizona. She's rarely gets in front of a camera, but it tried to enforce who could come into their state. Of course, when it comes to federal supremacy, when it comes to the border, for example, the federal laws, they reign supreme. They can dictate who comes over the border of the United States. That's that. Texas itself they can't do shit about it. But if we look at for example, the waves of immigration, who could have been terrorists? The large number of people that were being dumped out of Venezuelan insane asylums and prisons, and just people from all over the
frontal head and body like ribbon, 3 arms are angled, so that the thumbs meet in a line over the brow palm aside, facing the fingers meet above head, forming between thumbs and fingers the ascending triangle. Fire. Fire. The goddess thou, a Schneth. Frontal head and body like numbered 3 arms are angled, so that the thumbs meet in a line over the brow, palm or side, facing fingers meet above head, forming between thumbs and fingers the ascending triangle of fire.